is NTV. This is NTV. This is
Kavuma nvano nawe ozimbe nyumba ya muzeeyi kubango
enkayana ku ttaka. Minisita Nantaba aliko gwakutte amulagidde azimbire namukadde nyumba gye yakoona. Ye Kasese omusirikale akwatiddwa era lwa ttaka.
Eyamutuze naye bazze wamu ne bapangisa ruumu wamu.
Ekinnawattaka omusajja asangiddwa yatiddwa mu loogi. Bannyiniyo basattidde.
Oba nti omuntu okulaga amabeere guba musango. Oyo maama agezaako okuyonsa omwana oba omusiba.
Ebbago lyeteeka ku bugwenyufu. Abakugu mu by'amateeka basabye ligobwe bagamba likontana n'obuwangwa. Ekikwekwete mukono. Abakabinja akeekazaako erya mukono 11 bakwatiddwa ate Mubende omusajja abadde yeefuula omukazi bamukutte. Eriemu yennyini. Katusooke ne Sulaiman Kavuma akwatiddwa ku bigambibwa nti yatunda ettaka eritali lirye. Minisita Idi Nantaba yalagidde Kavuma ono akwatibwe wakati mu kiseera kino ng'okubuzaabuza obwannannyini ku ttaka kweyongera. Bino bibadde Mulago ku 2 kumpi ddala ne Kampala wakati. Nantaba agamba nti Kavuma ono yalema okugendera ku mateeka agalungamya ensonga z'ettaka. Agamba nti afuba kutereeza by'ettaka naye waliwo abamunenya olw'engeri gy'akolamu emirimu ennaku zino.
Mwami Kavuma ngenda naawe.
Bwatyo Minisita omubeezi akola ku nsonga z'ettaka Aida Nantaba bwakati yamulidde omusajja ono ayitibwa Sulaiman Kavuma ng'onaavunaanibwa kweddiza bintu bya Namukadde Madina Nakabuye.
Olemereddwa okukakasa gye wajja obuyinza obutunda ebintu by'abamulekwa ate ng'omaze okuŋŋamba nti baakulekawo osoloozengamu essente eziyamba mu kuddukanya olumbe olwaggwa edda emyaka egiweze n'osigala ng'okyasolooza ssente z'abamulekwa n'obaggalira ebweru n'obalemesa okuyingira mu mayumba gaabwe era balira ku nsiko.
Kavuma kigambibwa nti yali yaweebwa obuvunaanyizibwa bw'okulabirira amayumba g'abapangisa agasangibwa ku 2 ku luguudo oludda e Bwayise kyokka n'asalawo okugeddiza. Wadde ng'omugenzi Sauda Namwanje eyali nannyini ttaka lino yaleka mulekwa, Kavuma kigambibwa nti mu bbanga ery'emyaka 7 gy'amaze ng'asoloza ensimbi mu mayumba abadde takombya nsimbi n'emu ku mulekwa Nakabuye kati atemera mu gy'obukulu 6.
N'olwekyo ssente ezo ogenda zikozesa ozimbe ennyumba ya Madiina.
Ng'oggyeko okweddiza ensimbi z'asolooza, Kavuma era bamulumiriza okutunda ekibanja kino nga teyeebuziza ku mulekwa kyokka n'ensimbi ezatundibwa teyamukombyako.
Nze sifunanko mu kikumi kye bwebanga nagifuna mba nnyina okuwandiika addeyo obulami mpozinga bo munnange babikusakyusa.
Komishona waffe owa poliisi owa Land Protection Unit Mwami Kavuma ali mu ngalo ze essaawa eno.
Ye Namukadde Nabukera Bakira atulukuka amaziga olulidde ensala ya minisita essanyu libuze okumutta.
Kulira essanyu lingi era kati njagala nakunoonya mmotoka bantwale Butwazi.
Kavuma kati akumibwa ku poliisi ewandegeya nga bw'alindirira okusimbibwa mu mbuga. Ate ebyo ngo bitadde ku bbali e Kasese naye waliwo omusirikale wa UPDF akwatiddwa lwakwenyigira mu nkayana za ttaka. Lieutenant David Muhasa kigambibwa nti aliko ettaka eriweza yiika 10 kwasangiddwa ng'ataddeko abantu 50 nga balima.
They have been mobilizing attacks against us and our neighbors in this area now for almost a year and a half.
Okusinziira ku b'ebyokwerinda mu kitundu ekyo, omukwate wakuvunaanibwa lw'okumenya amateeka agafuga abasirikale b'amagye. Kyokka ye Muhasa ebimwogerwako abyegaanye.
I have a document that shows I am the owner of this land. I was given as a family member, customarily in our traditional cultures, Bakonzo. When a child grows up, the father or grandfather normally cuts a piece of land, a portion, and then assigns it to the grandson or the son. That's how I managed to acquire.
Kinajjukira nti President Yoweri Museveni yavaayo n'ategeeza ng'ekyokusengula abantu ku ttaka bwe kirina okuyimirizibwa. Julius Senkandwa, NTV.
NTV akawungezi. Ekinawatako kumpi n'ekireka banyini lodge eyitibwa Friends Inn. Basatidde babasanze omusajja ng'afiiridde mu kimu ku bisenge byabwawo. Poliisi eyitiddwa mangu nnyo era ebyakazuulibwawo kyandibanga omusajja ono yatugiddwa butugibwa. Kiroozebwa nti eyamuse yakedde kwemulula ebinaddako awulize biwulize.
Ekikangabwa kino kigudde mu lodge ya Friends Inn esangibwa mu Kago Zone ekinawataka okuliraana Kampala. Omugenzi ategerekese nga tumusiime Sam so nga munne gwe yayingidde naye tategerekese mannya. Kitegeezeddwa nti abasajja bano bombi bayingidde lodge eno era nga bapangisiza ekisenge kimu wabula mu matulutulu omu n'asibamu ebyanguwa.
Nemuze omusirikale nemugamba omuna agenza atya nti amunezi badisanga 12 nga zigenda ku 12 nanga akola ki kangende kanzije naye munanga kyakola ki akyalimu deno nakola ki naje nalenga muntu nga mwali nga yebase kati babadi nadde inatule nude bade tebina tukoba kugulawo nadde ne watachifano bakireka kwanga muntu wali onamugambe akomawo nagenda kati wagenze uzote zinawera sawa 3 kongo na customer kwa ruli kasume anakuva musawa 3 sijja kulimba simanyi kubanga babade tebatamidde naye mukusubira ayinza alabika munne yamusi sikakasa yamu naye nsubira.
Abakulembeze ba LC mu kitundu kino batutegeezezza nti bakola okulabula eri abaddukanya ziroogi n'amabaala.
Nakuba meeting ya palisi yonna nembagamba saa 6 mubenga mugaddewo mabaala kati bano baze saa 8 bavuddewa weewuziwo okulaba nti tufuna obuzibu mu kitundu.
Poliisi eyitiddwa mbagirawo okukebera omulambo ko n'okugujja mu loogi.
twasanze bamutuze ne bamusiba omugwa mu bulago nafa eyamutuze naye bazze wamu ne bapangisa ruumu wamu naye kumaca yadduse n'amulekawo.
Omulambo gutwaliddwa mu ggwanika ly'eddwaliro e Mulago gwongera okwekebejjebwa. Poliisi mu bikwekweto byegenze ekola mu Kampala n'emiriraano ez'ekyogera lunye nti ziroogi zisaanidde okuwandiika abazisulamu era babasabenga zi density. Kino kiyambako mu kulwanyisa obumenyi bw'amateeka mu bitundu ebyenjawulo.
NTV akawungeeza abakulu okuva mu Uganda Law Reform Commission abeekenneenya amateeka eggwanga kwe litambulira bagamba nti ebbago ly'etteeka ku busegu n'obugwenyufu minisita akwasisa empisa lyabadde ateese okuleeta terisobola kukola. Abakulu bano balowooza nti ebbago lino lirimu obuwaayiro bungi obuyinza okunafuya obuwangwa bw'abantu era ne basinzira okutegeeza nti ab'obuyinza bayinza okukozesa amateeka amalala agaliwo. Ebbago lino mwe muli n'akawaayiro akaweera enkunamyo akoogezza ennyo abantu ebigambo ennaku zino.
Okwogera ebikankana kwa maanyi okuva gavumenti lwe yavaayo n'ebbago ku bugwenyufu. Ebbago lino lyayitibwa minisita avunaanyizibwa okukwasa empisa. Akamu ku buwaayiro bulimu akasinza okubaganyizibwako ebirowoozo ke kakwatagana n'okukangavula abantu abambala engoye ez'esitaza oba enkunamyo. Olwaleero abakulu okuva mu Uganda Law Reform Commission bwe balabiseko mu kakiiko akakola ku by'amateeka bagambye nti ebbago lino teryetaagisa kubanga amateeka agaliwo gamala bulungi.
So kaakati nga tekyetaagisa kuteekawo komiti egenda okukola emirimu egy'ebitongole ebirala ssemateeka byateekawo. So kaakati ne tugamba komiti eyo teyeetaagisa. Tulina poliisi, tulina office ya DPP. Wotunulira akawaayiro 166 aka Penal Code Act. Ensonga biiru zegezaako okuadressinga ziri mu kawaayiro ako 166 aka Penal Code.
Bano era bagamba nti mu mateeka agakwatagana eby'empuliziganya ensonga eno erambikibwa bulungi engeri gy'erina okukwatibwamu. Bagamba nti ebbago lino likontana n'obuwangwa bw'abantu abamu.
Wotunula provisions ze proposal eziri mu bill aba abantu ziba zibakwata ne tugamba nti nedda ekyo kintafiyaringa ne culture because ku mukolo gya introductions that is culture abantu baba bazina mu ngeri ya culture zaabwe genda ebugiso abantu abazina embalu birebe bakwata.
Bannamateeka bano bategeezezza nti gavumenti esaana okusisira ku nsonga endala eziruma eggwanga.
Tuyinza kukola etteeka lyabazeeyi bokka no ate nga bino ebintu ebifu ebikyamu ebiriwo olwaleero ebitulaba waliwo amateeka amalala singa bagimplementinga bulungi agandibadde nga kakola ki gatuyamba mu mbeera ng'eyo.
Government is failing to pay teachers, it is failing to pay doctors, and we are trying to put up a committee to pay it to do what actually the police is already doing.
Songa abaka ba parliament bagamba nti bannaddiini n'abatwala ebyobuwangwa gino gye gimu ku mirimu gye balina okukola.
How many churches have we got? What do people go to do there? So for me, I think really let us really distribute our efforts and energy constructively.
Kino wekijjidde ng'ebbago ku bufumbo n'okubugattulula kumpi limaze okufeebezebwa.
NTV akawungeeza ebikwekweto bya poliisi ku balowoozebwa okumenya amateeka bitandise okubuna ebitundu ebyesudde Kampala. Mukono akabinja k'abasajja abateeberezebwa okutigomya abeeyo kazingiddwako dda. Mubende naye ekikwekweto kyakoleddwa ne bayoola abantu 40 okuli n'abakazi ababadde balenga akaboozi. Mu bakazi bano poliisi mwe yakwatidde n'omusajja abadde yeefuula omukazi n'atanula okumoola amaaso n'okulya ensimbi z'abasajja abayitika amangu.
Omusajja ono eyeekazaako erya Farida Namiiro ekiro kyajjo yakimaze mu kaduukulu k'abakazi ku poliisi y'e Mubende. Tewali yabadde amanyi nti musajja okutuusa enkya ya leero abasibe bwe babadde ku parade abasirikale ne bamwekengera.
Era tulidde tukigamba abantu abagenda mu bizinesi ey'okugula bamalaaya baba bateeka obulamu bwabwe mu risiki. Baba ogula omusajja ng'oyo n'omutuusa mu loogi kitu ky'osuubira.
Ng'oggyeko okwetunda ono era agenda kuggulwako omusango ogw'okwefuula kyatali. Yakwatiddwa wamu n'abakazi abalala 4 nabo basangiddwa nga beetunda mu kibuga Mubende. Ekikwekweto kino ekyakoleddwa mu matumbi budde kyayodde omugatte gw'abantu 40 abasangiddwa mu ngeri poliisi gye yeekengedde.
Twakutte ne tubaleeta wa main station ne tukola screening. Bamu tubagyeemu zeena balala balina kuvunaanibwa.
Ate Mukono abasajja 11 poliisi beerudde ng'enoonya baayoleddwa mu kiro kyajjo. bano ab'ekazaako erya Mukono 11 babazinzeeko bwe babadde bava ku mwoleso okugenda maaso ku kitebe ky'essaza ly'Ekyaggwe.
Batujje musaza munda
ng'ozina bakujjayo bujja.
Tosanzewo nti oba nnwanye oba nkoze eki. Banze bansanze neewumbye nabwe nti baŋŋamba jangu.
Balina n'ababakulira kati tugenda tubanoonya kugamba bo omulimu gwabwe gwakulaba nti baleetawo obutali butebenkevu mu mukono mu kukuba n'okutawaanya abantu okusinga nnyo ekiro.
Bano kigambibwa nti be bamu ku bantu abazze bakwatibwa ku misango egy'enjawulo kyokka ne bateebwa ne beekolamu akabiina mwe babadde basinzira okutigomya bannamukono n'emiriraano.
Omusango omulala gugguddwa kwe yali omubalirizi w'ebitabo mu ofiisi ya Ssaabaminisita Geoffrey Kazinda nga kaakati avunaanibwa okufiiriza gavumenti obuwumbi bwa siringi 20. Kazinda ono akyali mu kkomera Luzira ku misango emirala ebiri egyekuusa ku kufiiriza era gavumenti ssente n'okutereka ebiwandiiko bya gavumenti ebitongole mu nnyumba ewuwe. Omusango omupya ogumuvunaanibwa n'abantu abalala 3 okuva mu minisitule y'ebyensimbi. Bano bavunaanibwa nabo kuliko Wilbert Okero, Bright Atwine ne David Mugisha. Emisango abasatu bajeeganye wali mu kkooti ewozesa abalyenguzi n'okubba ssente z'eggwanga. Omulamuzi asookerwako wa Irina Kankwasa abaganye okweyimirirwa kyokka n'abalagira badde mu kkooti nga 29 omwezi guno. Kazinda yaasuubirwa kwolwo naye okusomerwa omusango guno. Mu birala okuva mu kkooti abasirikale ba UPDF 2 n'omuntu wa bulijjo omu abateeberezebwa okukulembera okulumba enkambi y'amajembuya bazze mu kkooti y'amagye omulundi ogwokubiri. Lieutenant Augustine Moro, Private Okero Kalokwera ne Ivan Ebong bagambibwa okuba nga bakulemberamu abantu abasoba mu 25 ne balumba enkambi y'amagye embuya mu mwezi ogwokusatu. Brigadier Fred Toriti yakulira kkooti eno. Aboludde olwabi basabye obudde bakole ku bujulizi bwabwe. Kkooti eddamu nga 17 omwezi guno. Mu birala e Mukono eriyo omuserikale wa poliisi avundira mu kayumba ke oluvannyuma lw'okulumbibwa ekirwadde ekitannaba kutegeerekeka. Ekirwadde kino kimaze ebbanga nga kimuli bukiika n'atuuka n'ekiseera nga takyasobola kutambula.
Nasookera mu basawo Baganda ne bangamba ati ttalo then ne balya ssente zange ne ntandika okunywa eddagala nga nyambala sikaati neyambisaako sikaati za mukyala wange akadomolera nkanywera ennaku 5 nga ssente ziweddewo banjijjako emitwalo 7 oluvannyuma lwa nnaku 5 abakadomolera. Waliwo omukulu eyajja wano yali DPC mupya najja wano nemuyitiramu neŋŋamba nti ndi wano ndina obuzibu ssente sifuna ate kati n'emmere sigifuna kati ne batandika okumpaayo ku kawunga kati akawunga kaggwayo.
Geoffrey Dikusokoyo abeera mu bitundu by'e Mukono eyo obulwadde gye bumubalira embiriizi. Eddakiika ziri 15 zimaze okuyita ku ssaawa y'emu. Tugenda kukumulamu tukomawo n'ekitundu ekyokubiri. Sibeetaaga Museveni alidde mu ttama ayatulidde abasigansimbi abatalina ssente.
Abantu abamu bafuna empiiyi olw'okuba nti endya gye balyamu emmere bw'abanga ali mu dduuka w'ebinyeebwa n'ayitawo n'alozaako.
Ate mu byobulamu abakugu bawa amagezi ku by'osaana okulya okwewala okuba empiiyi.
Olugero lwa leero lukutuusibwako
Mavit all the confidence.
Ebisula byefuula. Omutabazi yeefuula omwayi oba omunyazi. Omutabazi oyinza okumuyita omulwanyi. Edda ng'abatabazi bwe bawamba oba okwezza ekitundu abamu ku bo nga batandika okunyaga eby'abandi. Weegendereza abantu abajjira mu mbeera ey'okukuyamba. Abamu beefuula kubanga baba banoonya byanfuna.
Despite our different careers, we all use Movit's no best relaxer for me and you. Movit all
mufite confidence.
You have spirit of great African warrior. I will teach you the Matusawara style Kung Fu.
What an offer.
Now, show me what I teach you. That was a flying donkey Murago hospital kick. I die now. Master! But before I die, I offer you my belongings.
An extra offer?
Get an offer that comes with an extra offer. With Wally, the double the fun extra. Get up to 100% bonus airtime when you roll the airtime. And also win 650 million shillings worth of a bonus airtime.
Hey! Worried. Make it happen.
No Kung Fu master was hurt in the making of this film.
Tonight on NTV.
But I think we are very dynamic guys, right? We love exciting things, we love trying new things, and we still have the time to do it. So if you're thinking about it, go for it. Start, do. Along the way, things will work out.
Ladies, please, make yourselves at home, please. That's what it's all about, right? Just having some fun right here.
Here you are, you
huh?
liar.
No, wait.
On my account, I was remaining with only 200,000 and I was looking for a job. So I was like, no, I won't look for a job. Let me first use the little I have as the job comes on.
Otyo katugenda mu maaso ne NTV akawungeezi olwaleero giweze emyaka 34 bukyamagye ga Tanzania ne bannayuganda abava e Tanzania basula gavumenti ya Nakyemalira Idi Amin eyakola erinnya wano ne mu nsi yonna. Idi Amin Dada VC DSO MC CBE ng'ebitiibwa ebyo bwe byali yakola ebirungi n'ebibi era mu bibi bye yakola mwe mwava n'ensobi ey'okulumba Tanzania nagezaako okweza ekitundu ky'e Kagera. Ensobi yalinga olujjo olwayingiza abaali bamupangira olukwe olw'okumusuula nga 11 April 1979 gavumenti yali emaze emyaka 8 mu buyinza lwe yagwa. Amin yaddukira Libya ewa mukwano gwe kati omugenzi Muammar Gaddafi ate oluvannyuma gye yava n'adda Saudi Arabia gye yafiiranga 16 mu August 2023. Amawulire ebiseera ebyo gayogeranga ku Amin ng'eyali omusajja ataggwako bisesa kyokka nga tasaaga waba wakola kintu.
Ati 208 brigade ya Marwa nesalaawo munakasanje and what not
negende egwa Entebbe
nerya Entebbe ngano Kampala abantu bakyatambula ngana mini akyayogera owulidde
naye yaliwo oba yategeera ekintu kiyise
yategeera Amini ye muntu yasembayo kuvaayo era omuwa obubonero
okuvaawo wano
April sawa 10 yali akyaliwo
mu Kampala muno.
Yes. Omuntu gwe yali naye ategeeza
ani akunyumiza
ba haji omwali awo yabeera
yali munnennyo
amukolerako emirimu Idris Mayanja Njuki owulidde ya ku kepisaawo bayambuka ku kepisaawo ng'amagye ga Tanzania gasala gati namugaa nti no angalia washenzi laba basiru bano
tetebandaba
saa 10 n'egi ng'akyali mwekyo mutendereza era mutye nnyo kati waliwo omuvubuka omu bamuyita Godfrey Musuya had a problem nga talina mapu ya Kampala ate obudde buzibye abantu batuuse ku saaya Queen. Omuvubuka oli Gondi Musuya mga nti omanye Kajjansi omanyi Radio Uganda weeri ngaga nti nje mwisula kombe naye munnakyalo bire gyabaddeyo owulidde Amini olwa yali agenze
banyumiza radio yabangako ddoboozi
afulumye yafuluma saa 11
mu Kampala
nakwatedye Bugerere owulidde ali mu benze menye abamulabako bagani ne sati nga agijjemu atadde ekifuba
aduma
Idi banna okubakuduma wayi yali mugumu kubanga buli musirikale wa Tanzania bamu akapapula ke 10. Do you know what it meant? Kulabirako kifaananyi kyani
nti afaanana bw'ati
kubanga Amini
kabanga kokoze omutwe gwe
ne on orders nti tattibwa.
oyo mukulu Kisolo ng'ayogera ku bimu ku byafaayo bya Amin olunaku lwe yagobwa mu Uganda. Emboozi eyo yalagibwa ku Sande tujja kugiddamu olunaku olw'enkya mu bujjuvu ng'amawulire ag'essaawa 7 emisana agawedde. Mu byobulamu olwaleero abantu bangi baagala nnyo okulya awatali kwebalirira ekivaamu ne bava mu kukkuta ne bafuuka ekirala. Emmere nnyingi evaako omuntu okuwunya obubi okwebajjagala n'okukuba empiiyi. Katwongera okunyonyoka ensonga eno.
Okubejjagala yemu ku ngeri omubiri gye gwerwanako okwejjamu empewo etali ya mugaso ebeera eyingidde mu lubuto ng'olumu eruleetera n'okugulumba. Empewo esobola okuyingira omuntu singa anywa oba okulira ku sipiidi ennene, okulya ng'ayogera, okwegaya n'obuntu nga obiti ne swiiti, okunywera ku kaseke, okunywa sigala n'okunywa ebintu nga soda ne bbiya biyingiza mu mbiri empewo. Okwebejjagala okw'ekikanga kino tekuba nnyo na buzibu, kyokka waliwo ekizibu ekisobola okutuuka ku muntu singa ebintu by'abaalidde biremererwa okukolebwako obulungi. Mu mbeera eno omuntu afulumya omukka ogutawunya bulungi ekimuviirako n'abamuli okumpi okumudduka, kino nga kye kiyitibwa okukuba empiiye.
Abantu abamu bafuna empiiyi olw'okuba nti endya gye balyamu emmere bw'abanga ali mu dduuka ow'ebinyeebwa n'ayitawo n'alozaako, ow'ensenene n'ayitawo n'alozaako, ow'enswa n'ayitawo n'alozaako, ate n'amala n'atumya ekyemisana emmere ebika byonna, kawogo, kalumonde, ekijanjaalo wabbali, ennyama n'akakoko wabbali. Kati ebintu ebyo bikkirira mu lubuto bibulwa engeri gye biyinza okwekyusaamu, bwe bituula mu kifo ekimu kibireetera okuvunda. Kati obubi bwe twogeddeko pyloric sphincter valves kasa zitaggalawo kitegeeza zijja kutabulika fonkunaali ali mu lubuto atandika okuddira eno mu mimiro.
Mu ngeri eno ekitundu ekitwala omukka mu mawogwe kiggalibwawo omukka oguva mu lubuto bwe gujjirako amazzi oba ekintu ekirala bireme okuyingira mu mawogwe. Emmere ng'ebijanjaalo, amagi, ennyama n'ebigwa mu kkowe eryo bimanyiddwa mu kuzimba obulungi omubiri. Bino bitwala ebirungo by'omubiri ebiwera nga bikolwako olumu ekiviirako omuntu okukuba empiiyi.
Kati emirundi egyo gye bimulungulibwa biba bivaako asidi olwo. Biba bivaako asidi olw'okuba asidi oyo alina okwokya agenda nayo ky'obububi obukkiriza emmere okuyitawo okuva mu kabutobuto ogenda mu lubuto olulala n'ogenda mu lubuto olulala.
Mu byonna okulya ebintu ebyanguya emmere okukolwako ng'enva endiirwa n'ebibala kikulu nnyo okusobola okwanguya emmere n'etesiiba mu lubuto ekitangira omuntu okukuba empiiyi.
Okubajjagala kabonero mu busawo tukiyita GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disorder, nti ebintu ebyandiise emabega gy'oteekwa okufulumira bitandise okuwaganya okuyita waggulu, era okubajjagala kabonero akalaga nti omuntu oyo abulako katono nnyo n'okutandika okusesema.
Ekyenkya okusinga kyandibadde kyangu ddala anti essaawa omubiri gye gusinga okugezaako okweggyamu ebicaafu.
Kyova olaba abantu babeera mu buliri bwabwe n'owulira ng'ayisa omukka ogwo, abalala bakeera mu toilet, abalala bakeera kufuuyisa, abalala bakeera kwayuya, ne bwe muba mutambudde naye olaba omukka omweru nga gumuvaamu. Mu kiseera kya kumakya wokka kitegeeza nti omubiri guli mu kiseera kya elimination, guli mu kiseera kya kufulumya bino ebicaafu biba byaggiddwako nga baweereza omusaayi omulungi mu bifo by'omusaayi mwe guteekwa okutambulira. Kati abantu abasinga ensobi yaabwe omubiri guba gugezaako okufulumya ebicaafu ku makya ate n'akeera n'alya ebintu ebizitowa. Omubiri ne gujja amaanyi gaagwo okufulumya ebicaafu ne gugateeka ate kumulungula emmere n'eririddwa.
Omuntu okugaana okwetawuluza omubiri we gwagalidde olumu kiviirako olubuto okugulumba n'omuntu okutuuka okufulumya omukka omubi era ng'olw'akatogo akangi akaba kajjudde mu lubuto ekivaamu kwe kukuba empiiyi.
Oba omuntu okuba mu bbaasi neeyimirira n'atyo genda emmanja okwetawuluza ajja kulemesa omubiri guno okufulumya kino ekintu ekikyafu. Buli kitayita mabega kiyiiye ekkubo eriddira mu kamwa naddala nga kiri mu gaasi oyo kinoonya ekkubo ne kiddira eno waggulu.
Wabula bakugu bagamba nti singa embeera eno ey'okukuba empiiyi esukka kyandibadde kirungi omuntu okulaba omusawo mu bwangu. Irene Namyalo, NTV.
Genderera engeri gy'olya emmere. Eddakiika ziri 26 ziyise ku ssaawa emu. Katulaba akatale k'ensimbi. Tukomawo n'ebyemizannyo tovaawo.
Are battle? Yeah! I said, are you ready for a battle? Yeah! Yo, where your crew at? They'll be here. Let's go.
There's only one thing left to do. That's taste it.
With over 100 great TV channels on DSTV, everything else can wait.
Must Watch is brought to you by
MTN. Everywhere you go.
I have decided to take my time in education, to invest my time in education and my resources in education.
Instability. Why people did not like him?
We share the business experiences of Mohammed Chibuka, an entrepreneur in the education service, and Josephine Mbatude, an events manager.
On my account, I was remaining with only 200,000 and I was looking for a job.
Introducing MTN Business. Whatever your business requirements, we can find a solution.
MTN. Everywhere you go.
NTV Sport is brought to you by...
Here we go. This now is what happens in the next 90 minutes. This one promises to be a classic.
Mu byemizannyo olwaleero Omutanzania George Hamilton y'omu ku bagenda okwetaba mu mpaka za digi ez'omulundi ogwokubiri ezigenda okubeera egaluga ku nkomerero ya wiiki eno. Zino zigenda kukozesebwa okugezesa abavuzi abaneetaba mu za East African Championships ezinabeera Kenya, Nairobi mu Kenya.
Olukontana olwokubiri olw'empaka za digi luddamu ku Sande ne Galuga nga buli mwagezaawo okunoonya obubonero obunaamuyamba okweyongerayo mu maaso. Abategesa empaka zino bayise Omutanzania George Hamilton okubeera omu ku banaazeetabamu olw'obukugu bw'alina.
Zino pikipiki z'empaka ziba twetegekera eza international ezigenda okubeerawo mu May, June eza East Africa Championship.
Yanis Daik ne Yunus Bakunda basuubira okukola ennyo okusigaza ebifo ebalimu kati ku lukalala lw'abavuzi so nga ate Tala Kigundu asuubira okubavuganya. Kenya yakuteeka enzannya 2 ku ez'esatu eza East African Championships so nga Uganda ejja okuteeka olwokusatu.
Mu byemizannyo ebirala omuzannyi Pedro yakoze nnyo kulaba nga Barcelona egenda ku luzannyo oludirira olw'akamalirizo mu mpaka za Champions League. Pedro yateebye goolo ey'ekyenkanyi bwe babadde bazanya ne Paris Saint-Germain oba PSG. Ate yo Bayern Munich yatuuse ku semi-final oluvannyuma lw'okuwangula Juventus goolo zabadde 2 ku bwereere.
Lavezzi, an offside flag against him. Here's Pastore now for Paris Saint-Germain and scores! Javier Pastore with a priceless goal for Paris in the Nou Camp.
Well, you cannot say they haven't deserved that, Paris Saint-Germain. This time they get it right. Celebrations over there in the corner and the defenders are all huddled as well. Those Paris fans, they know. Messi.
Still going, Messi looking to tee it up. Superbly rifled home and Barcelona back in it, courtesy of a Pedro pile driver.
What a magnificent goal that is. Whether Messi is fit or not.
Very good build-up. He's right in the thick of it now. He picks the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity. Unbelievable. He can't believe it either. If you're watching this at home, that's how it's done.
Ebyemizannyo bityo we bigenze. Ebulayi dakika 2 okuwera essaawa 2 naye katusooke tulabe President Museveni anakuwalidde abantu abeeyita abasiga nsimbi abajja kuno n'obusente obutono ennyo ate ne badda ku gavumenti okugitawaanya nga bagisaba kino ne kiri. Museveni agamba abantu bano bamutamye era amagezi gabawadde ga kukwata ssente zaabwe bazikolemu ekintu ekirala kusinga okumumalira obudde. Museveni abadde mu nsisinkano n'abasiga nsimbi bano mu Kampala.
in case you are not a poor person. If you are a poor person, please don't waste my time. I've got enough poor people, I don't want additional ones. But in case you have got some money, good money, and you want to make more money, I can confidently tell you that you can make money here when you come here. We don't have enough entrepreneurs in Uganda. If we had enough, I would not bother you. But the Ugandans, because of the history, the opportunities are too many, the entrepreneurs are few.
President Yoweri Museveni bw'abadde mu nsisinkano n'abasiga nsimbi. Webale nnyo okulaba NTV akawungeezi. Eddakiika ziri 28 ezibulayo okuwera essaawa 2. Mpulidde olwaleero nti Ssaabasajja asiimye n'abaako abantu abamu batongoza nti mu butuufu basinga mu bintu ebimu. Muyimbi Mathias Walukagga mpulidde nti y'omu ku basinga okuyimba eby'amagezi eby'amakulu. Tuteekemu amaanyi mu bye tukola. N'abalala mumulabireko, sitera kwogera nga mbaliriza mu ngeri eyo, naye kikulu njagala nnyo okuwulira ennyimba ezo zirimu ebintu ebirungi. Waliwo abavubuka abayimba ennaku zino nti ozannyisa obudde. Budde kikulu mu Uganda. Twonoona nnyo obudde. Osanga abantu biggamye enkuba terina na byetonnya biri awo. Kati e Kampala ebadde eneetera okutonnya nga bayingidde dda baagala kweggama. Obudde okuba essimu okubuuza ku muntu muli muti eyo ofuniddemu wa? Wasi obudde ne ssente zigenze. N'ebisolo bitusenga okukuuma obudde. Empologoma gy'olaba eyo ekeera okugoba engabi etaakuumye budde kugyewala. Ate n'engabi naye ekeera nnyo ekuuma budde yeewala empologoma. Kati ekikulu si kuba nti oba oli mpologoma oba oli ngabi. Ekikulu budde. Njogedde nnyo kanve wano.
It's more than just good music.
God is able to do just what he said he would do.
It's uplifting, intimate praise and worship.
Come on.
Featuring the latest in gospel. To exploring the word and sharing with Uganda's top gospel artists.
I am one of those most celebrated gospel artists in East Africa.
GXP is your one stop for encouragement and blessings.
Praise and worship is a strong component on GXP.
Every Sunday only on NTV, your official inspiration.
Then we run Angels Agric Fund, particularly because we want to promote food security and increase in household incomes. So we support smallholder farmers from planting to market. So we form groups of women, about 30 to 50. Then they begin a saving component among themselves. So we give them savings boxes, savings booklets. So every week they meet to save small amounts of money. And then we base on that to lend them so that they can put their farms. So the idea behind Africa Youth Investment Fund was to help youth to save and invest small amounts of money whenever they have it, and over time accumulate a certain amount of money which they can actually use to start a business or fund their education or something like that.
Self-belief and the art to convince were key because it was a challenge for the consumer to believe in what William had to offer.
That was a challenge of capital when we were starting, that's very true. Credibility, I mean, looking at these young youth speaking big ideas and what experience do you have in business to convince somebody, give me 50 million shillings to set up a launchpad, for example. But we are kind of people who believe in resourcefulness, right? That you try to ask yourself, well, I don't have the money to do X, Y, and Z, but what is within my means to do something that is close to what I want to do? And perhaps use it as a track record to prove that actually when I've done this, then perhaps I can do something bigger.
With the small allowance to offer so far, William currently works with a number of fellow youths. But what keeps this team moving?
They're not working on a very big allowance kind of scale. It's the passion and the belief in what we're trying to create, which to us is the most important thing.
Without forgetting the cause for this initiative, William has been able not only to employ but empower other upcoming entrepreneurs.
In the Angels ecosystem and how we look at supporting entrepreneurs, the first thing we did was to invest in setting up the launchpad, this small launchpad here. Ideally, it has 3 spaces. You have an innovation space for people who are thinking of ideas to start a business, a more professional office facility, and other office facilities afterwards. So ideally, if you're a youth and you have a good idea, then this is the best for you where you can come and sit and start a business on a very small amount of money, not the kind of money we need when we are starting. And then once you achieve traction, then there is a chance to participate in Angels Ventures. Basically, Angels Ventures looks for entrepreneurs, highly innovative, who have started the company, but now are looking for bigger support to scale. So it's more built in our own experience when we had some small idea, we have tried our best, now we need support for somebody to come on.
With the marketing bit put into perspective, William and the team use various methods to reach out and create awareness about their initiative.
Yeah, the major thing has been social media marketing, that's one, right? For all our initiatives, there's a lot of social media marketing. Facebook, Twitter. I'm not a very big fan, but at least my staff really works in that. 2 has been community engagement, right? We take a weekend off and, for example, go to Chibuku and meet local leaders and interview people in the field and talk to them and find out what the problem is, right? And once in a while, yes, you have used posters. Once in a while, we have used posters. And the other big thing has been events, right? Because once we invite youth from Makerere or from around town to come here and meet, then that's when you can have this kind of communication about what we do and encouraging them to get involved.
Not now. Every serious entrepreneur would want to have a long-term plan for their business and witness it come to pass. Does William think in the same line?
What we are looking for is, in terms of impact, is in terms of lives that we are impacting. We want to at least support a minimum of 10 million people through our group of initiatives, either in East Africa or Africa at large. So in all the specific ventures, what we are trying to do is, what's the reach? If we are talking about youth financial inclusion and we're talking about how many youth are in our fund, currently we have 200. If we reach 1 million, that's cool. We would love that.
In consideration of the African Youth Investment Fund, which is part of the 4 ventures Angels Initiatives is involved in, we asked William whether the team convinces the consumers to come for the loans.
We don't necessarily encourage people to take our loans, but what we do is to encourage them to grow their businesses, right? Because once they go their businesses, then they're going to need capital. And once they need capital, of course, they'll come to us. So that's the kind of system that has kind of come up. But even before you looked at that, there are so many youth running businesses right now whose problem is capital, that they can actually afford to take a risk. In fact, there was a time last year when the kind of amount of money we had within our angels wasn't enough to even supply or meet the demand of capital there was. So of course there are those who are risk averse, those who are willing to take the risk, but at the end of the day, at some point you need money into your business and you have to take a loan.
To boast about success in any venture, management structures have to be laid out well. William puts this into detail, plus the total income they earn annually.
The team is very structured. You have a CFO who is basically in charge of accounting, of financial management tools, in terms of software, but also kind of procedures on how money is handled, coming out and stuff like that, putting controls here and there. And then part of our advisory board is a very qualified auditor or something like that, who can actually come and look at our books consistently. And let's just say on an annual rate for the last 2 years of full-fledged business, AI as Angels initiatives, everything combined, annual turnover has been in the range of $10,000 to $20,000 range.
With that much for profits at the end of the year, William doesn't deny the fact that they still have challenges to do away with in order to achieve the earlier on mentioned long-term plan.
So right now we have a very big staff, about 20 people, who ideally have been working for a full year, right? And the kind of allowances or even salaries we give them are far much lower than the kind of work they do. And we can't make a mistake of paying them beyond our operating capacity. So you either lay off or you convince them to stay in. So of course, we shall be needing or looking to go the business beyond its own level of growth, we go to support the kind of affordable or acceptable level of earning from each of our people who works with us.
William believes that the success so far was achieved because of the inspirations drawn from a number of people.
Ideally, I would owe the success or relative success currently to about 5 people. Perfect. One is my dad. He was a very big inspiration to me. And even his death kind of changed the way I was thinking. 2, my priest uncles, Father Peter, Baka and Father Sekavila, of course, who saw well there's something in this young kid, but how do we nurture it together, help him focus and stuff like that. And then, of course, now other family members come in because then it's raising up a child is a family responsibility. My grandmother and who. The other 3 people I've found in books. The first one, I read a book called Mustard Seed, the writer you know about. It inspired me a lot about how people go out of their own way to create change. So that was one inspiration. The second book I read was written by a man called Muhammad Yunus. And Muhammad Yunus wrote a book called Banker to the Poor. That book changed me. He built one of the biggest banks in Bangladesh, Grameen Bank, just from a concept of how to say that's called. The fifth is kind of like a mentor to me. It's called Eric Glastrom. He runs an organization called Educate. And I could say the impact of my family, the impact of the books I read, have kind of shaped my opinion about the world and how it can kind of change.
This is the advice he has for aspiring young entrepreneurs.
If you have a big dream or a big vision, there's nobody else there who can pursue it for you. And most times you need to be able to take the risk to go against the normal and pursue it, right? So most times we may settle in our comfort zones and find rest in the status quo. right? That's what everybody expects me to do. That's what my parents expect me to do. But I think we are very dynamic guys, right? We love exciting things, we love trying new things, and we still have the time to do it. So if you're thinking about it, go for it. Start, do. Along the way, things will work out.
NTV, turning on your world.
Ori bags can be customized to a whole range of your needs, such as packaging bags, shopping bags, gift bags, souvenirs, parcels, and corporate marketing bags. Ori bags can be given away in seminars and conferences attended by your prospective clients or partners to help carry any files or brochures back home. Ori bags can be used on giveaways and introduction ceremonies as gift bags. Promoting your brand name, Ori Bags ensures that your brand name is easily visible to everyone who sees your product in our eco bags. Ori Bags will help reinforce the name of your company or business in the mind of the person who possesses it and even others who get to see it. Ori Bags, eco-friendly innovations.
Introducing the all-new powerful baby feature on Worried Pesa. Do more and win more. Use Worried Pesa to pay for DSTV or GoTV subscription, StarTimes subscription, electricity bill, water bill, taxes, school fees, and many others. And you'll enter a draw to win free electricity for a year, free water for a year, DSTV or GoTV decoders, StarTimes decoders, and many surprise gifts. Now, with Worried Pesa's baby feature, you do more and win a lot more. Dial *144# and select Pay Bill. Limited period offer. Terms and conditions apply.
Worried. Make it happen.
Hello, you're welcome, and meet David and Joseph. David and Joseph are colleagues that we work with in Mount Elgon, and basically they deal in making the solar panels.
William Baka, you're welcome to Postbank. We're excited to have you as one of the entrepreneurs we are going to mentor. Postbank Uganda is a financial institution that was established after the restructuring of the former Uganda Post and Telecommunications. It became an autonomous body and incorporated in February 1998 as a financial institution regulated by the Bank of Uganda. And it is 100% owned by the government of Uganda. That means me and you are the owners of this institution. Postbank Uganda has been able to deliver services to a number of institutions, a number of individuals, following our vision. Our vision is to become the leading financial institution for the mass market. And that means we have to cater for a multiplicity of customers.
The organization was established in 2005, and it's doing a range of activities. The first one is that we mobilize people to come together and mobilize materials like sand, bricks, and cement to be able to build houses for the needy people. And today we started that program of building houses in 2008, and to date we have 64 houses that are built. Another activity that we engage in is to mobilize groups of children, groups of youth together in some sort of support groups where they offer counseling to each other, but they also learn different life skills in terms of things that can keep them going in their own life, but also actively engage in starting or initiating some small income generating projects that are geared towards meeting their own goals.
The Youth Works program is something that is innovative, that is quite unique in the Ugandan market, and we are supportive of it because we think it brings a completely new lease to life for the young people in Uganda. Many times we are trained in school not to create our own jobs, but to look for white-collar jobs. And the Youth Works program has taken a different paradigm to what has been the case. And ensuring that you bring out the energies in the young people, bring out the talent, bring out the unique aspects of the innovations to the fore and support them at their initial stages.
The Youth Works, to me, is a very brilliant idea. Idea really that is tapping into the passion that the youth have, through the country, to identify potential areas that they can be able to explore, innovate, create, in terms of making things possible for them.
To Baka, who is involved in microfinance, we have been a lead financial institution for the circles that have been created in the past. We continue to deal with circles, microfinance institutions. We have a lot of experience in dealing with them, and Tubaka will offer support ranging from issues of financial literacy to issues of managing his books, to issues of planning, issues of budgeting, issues of what he needs to look out for when he's getting clients on board, what he needs to do in order to adequately communicate with the clients.
Reading Baka's profile, I really realized that he had the same kind of vision that Mount Elgon has. And that alone paired us together. And basically, we are looking at teaching Baka how to do the solar panels, because that is also he has the passion of having the renewable energy, being promoted within his community. To me, that was touching and very inspiring to me. To know. So we are looking forward to having some time to meet and discussing how we can actually teach him and his team how to practically make the solar panels that can provide the light, and that can also be able to be used in businesses.
We have, as a bank, a lot of interest in how our people grow their businesses. Right from the time they come to us when they are small to the time they have grown, we have had various experiences with customers who have come when they are looking for 100,000, and 2 years down the road they are asking for 100 million because we have worked with them along the way, because we know once they grow, we grow as a bank. So we have had a number of customers that we have dealt with, both institutional and individual, whom we have been able to mentor and grow with, because it is in our best interest to work with them the way we think it is right.
I've basically engaged in the mentorship of very many projects, over 100. But specifically these two are outstanding for me. I've moved together with these two young youth who started some small projects. Now one of them started the project of a saloon, where they were trying to find a generator to be able to start a saloon to earn the income. And they got together 5 of them. But it was costly for them to have this generator run because of the fuel costs. So when we worked together with them, we availed these particular solar systems, where they are now actively engaged in using the solar systems to be able to cut the hair and earn the living. And they have grown their businesses. They started with 1 and they have now gotten to 3.
Now that you have come on board, we welcome you and we hope we can be able to transform your dreams.
So how has the mobile banking system worked so far?
For us it has been amazing, because it is an alternative of extending services to relatively remote locations, but in a more cost-effective manner. A few times they have known that, well, the vehicle comes back. Third time, fourth time, they know that actually these people are very serious and they're able to offer all the services they need, whether it's money transfer services, whether it is opening an account, whether it is accessing a loan. We go with all the stuff that you would meet in a branch in the van to wherever you are. So people have found it very interesting. The only challenge is you have to understand that you regularize your banking, you plan your banking accordingly. Otherwise, when you need us tomorrow, when we have been there today and it's not on schedule, it becomes a challenge. But over time, our customers have gotten to plan their banking accordingly, and they're enjoying the services, which otherwise would have been very hard.
Thanks so much, sir.
Welcome to
We are very excited.
Welcome to the family. To the thousands of Baka who are out there, young entrepreneurs who have not yet come to the fore, one thing is for sure: let's stop procrastinating. You will think about an idea, however wonderful it is. Once you do not start acting on it, you will not have your way out. Let's stop dreaming, think about something, put it into action. And you need to know what connections you can be able to get to have a leeway to move with your business. Not all businesses require money to start with. Your money could be the networks that you create. Could it be through an Interact Club? Could it be through the financial institution that serves you? What are the networks that you've created? Through those networks, are you able to get to ensure that you benefit from the networks you create? You do not have to wait for someone to come to you. Come to the fore. The opportunity is now. There are so many opportunities, and they're only waiting for young people like you to tap into, and this country will be yours.
Youth need to come out and get together. Try to think now, try to create, things that are geared towards making life better for our Uganda. They have a lot of potentials, they have a lot of skills, but some of them are untapped because they're isolated. So getting together to work as a team, to be able to identify these traits, skills that they have, and put them into use so that people can benefit out of that is what I would really call for.
I'm pleased to be able to talk to the youth as a grandma, an elderly person. The youth of Uganda, you are suffering. You are trying hard to build your future. What I want to tell you is that your future is
Station.
Hey, my God is good, yo.
It's more than just good music.
God is able to do just what He said He would do.
It's uplifting, intimate praise and worship.
Come on.
Featuring the latest in gospel. To exploring the word and sharing with Uganda's top gospel artists.
I am one of those most celebrated gospel artists in East Africa.
GXP is your one-stop for encouragement and blessings.
Praise and worship is a strong component on GXP.
Every Sunday only on NTV, your official inspiration station.
NTV, turning on your world.
Zebras belong to the horse family and are best known for their distinctive white and black stripes, with each zebra having its own unique pattern of stripes, just like fingerprints. There are 3 species of zebra: the plain zebra, gravy zebra, and the mountain zebra. Zebras generally stand from 4 to 5 feet at the shoulder and weigh around 300 kilograms. The largest species, gravy zebra, can weigh up to 450 kilograms. Zebras can be found in a variety of habitats, such as grasslands, savannas, woodlands, thorny scrublands, mountains, and coastal hills. When the group is alarmed, it takes to flight with the first 5 dominant females or mares in the front and the stallions bringing up the rear. Like horses, zebras walk, trot, canter, and gallop. They are generally slower than horses, but their great stamina helps them to outpace their predators. Bachelor males either live alone of other bachelors until they're old enough to challenge a breeding stallion. Like most animal species, female zebras mature earlier than males, and a mare may have her first foal by the age of 3. Zebras have a gestation period of 12 months. Zebras have a lifespan of 20 years.
NTV, turning on your world.
Combination here, y'all. Feel it. The revolution will be televised. Feel me?
Come on. She would shampoos a lot. Several mornings she shampoos my locks. Always have my back, she stand true to that. Real type of loving, thank you for that. Yo, run barefoot without the shoes and socks. Cause She keep herself clean, man, I got catch no rush. And she love me for real, man, I feel have no cash. And any little thing and from a splish, you splash. Yo, all this blinging is like you forgot. Use cheddar as the bait, then you recruit the rat. So we listen couple speech of Martin Luther chat. Dennis Brown, Bob Marley, and some super cats. Yo, it seem like she live upside the Duke shop. Cause she don't have a scratch, it's only beauty spot. When one duty start is when one duty stop. 1 9 to 5, 1 5 to 12 o'clock, you see me?
NTV, turning on your world.
We must stand together. There's no giving.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Igaga, and you're watching your favorite TV show that comes to you every Wednesday evening, that is Men. Tonight we're going to talk about forbidden fruits. Just like in the Bible, Adam and Eve. Now, there are those people who go after things that they are not supposed to go after. Some people say forbidden fruit is sweetest. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
I said ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's me first. It's very good to be here.
And Winnie, welcome to the show. Good to have you here, looking hot.
Thank you for having me.
Moto.
Thank you. I'm glad to be
so
here.
Delicious, you guys.
It's good to have you too. You know, you're very opinionated.
Yeah.
Yes, you're a critic. I'll just start with you. Forbidden fruits. What is this thing about people wanting what they should not have?
Well, I guess it's human nature to crave what you can't get, right? Those things that are seemingly unattainable are the things that attract you the most, and so that's what you go after. And men, being the natural hunters that we are, married women seem to present themselves as the unresistible or irresistible target that we must seek and conquer. So I think that's why people are interested in married women.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you've been very specific. And Winnie, forbidden fruit. First of all, do you like forbidden fruit?
Yeah, well, like you said, the more attractive it usually is. Women like married men. That is true because they're married. They seem like they're out of reach, so they're more attractive to them. That is true. I don't agree with it per se, but yes, it happens. It is the truth. The more married a man is, the more attractive he is. You'll see that when a man is walking around, he's not married and everything, he's just a usual guy. But when he gets married and has a ring on his finger, every woman wants him.
Joseph, you see, I saw somebody hide their fingers. I'll not say who, you know, but we'll get to him. So, Joseph, you were saying something.
Isn't that oversimplifying? I mean, if they can make someone happy, they are proven. If they can make someone happy.
But you see, they're already making someone else happy. So why would another woman want to go for them when they're already making someone else happy?
She's looking for the happiness.
You do not want to experiment with me. There's a man there who is already making someone happy. You would rather.
It's a done deal.
Yeah, that's ready made.
You know, two guys are talking. Like, dude, this chick is hot. This chick is. When you're like, dude, you know, she's nice. What your brother will say, dude, does she have a sister? Whereas with women, what tends to happen is when chicks are, you know, my man does this and this and this, and he treats me like this and this and this. Chick says, I want that one. She will never say, does he have a brother? That's the one I want. You might want to attribute that to Chris Rock.
I actually did.
Man who is already settled signifies to a woman a person of means. Women crave security, among all else, and a man who is settled and has a family, you know, displays that aura of security and stability that women are naturally attracted to. So yeah, the allure of the married man is very strong.
Yes, well, what about for the men and the married woman?
Yes,
It's the same thing.
I listen, for me, I told the story before where somebody accused me of being a farmer who's left his produce on the side of the road while I was working away from my wife. And you know, the worst thing is that this was somebody that I actually knew me, and the guy was just trying to be relentless. And eventually, I hope I don't get in trouble with my wife for this. And she actually moved jobs as a result of it. She's like, you know what, I'm leaving this job, I'm gonna move. but maybe it's just because she's such a beautiful woman. But I think it's also the whole alpha male thing of a guy sees and competition, say, you know what, that woman seems to she thinks she's it, or she might talk about her husband too much, or the guy might talk about his wife too much. I'm going to show him. It happens a lot. So that guy thinks he's too clever. Let me show him. And it happens.
So now, then can you say such people who go after forbidden fruit are people who have no respect for others' relationships?
Yeah. Thank you.
No, actually, yes. I think
Okay,
that's oversimplifying it.
Yeah.
Because I think that it's not so much just because someone is in a relationship doesn't mean they're happy there.
So
it's a capitalist world. You know, you can offer them a better solution. It's like marketing agencies. Just because a company has an agency doesn't mean you can't offer them your services. Yes. So I think that it's one thing to say there's a relationship. I mean, it's different for marriages, but relationships is always fair in love and war.
How is it different from marriages?
What you just said, I think part of the problem why people cheat is that, actually. Right? Or why relationships degenerate. I'll tell you for a fact, for me it is a turn-off. As in, one of the first things I need to find out about someone is whether they are seeing someone. For me, it's one, I do not want to get into a place where I'm competing with some other guy.
But it depends. Do you mean like for a relationship, or if you're saying
everything starts as a relationship from the start? I mean, you find out.
No, what I'm saying is, if you're looking for a quick one, is it important to you that the person is in a relationship or not? Depends on what you want.
A quick one is which one? Nightclub.
What I mean is, if you're looking for a quick round, would you care that she was married or not?
No, these questions. You see.
Like if you don't want to settle with her, does it matter that she belongs to somebody else, to you?
It matters very, very much, and that's what I'm saying. That for me, it is not about settling or whatever. It is about someone's. I'm not saying this won't happen, or it wouldn't happen. I'm just saying that when I learn about it, it's a turn-off. And I may not even pursue it any further as long as someone tells me.
I want you to tell us, first of all, why. And then number two, please bear in mind, there's an English saying that says, faint heart never won a fair lady. Now, you'll always be competing. To get a good woman, I believe a woman who somebody else is interested in is a good woman, including even your own wife. If there's somebody else who's interested in her, it means you made a good choice.
You're not a very clever man.
But it's the truth.
Especially since you're married and you're talking about this on the show.
It's the truth.
But also, Peter,
it's the truth.
Until I get one also who is not seeing anyone, I can make them a very fair lady, and then someone else might want to cheat, to hit on her. I also believe that not every good woman is one who is in a relationship. Okay? Now, I'm going to state again that this may not stop me. You see, when I find out...
But it's a turn-off.
It's a turn-off, but it does not stop you.
It is a turn-off. Can I speak? I don't think it is black and white like that. I walk to a girl and she tells me she's in a relationship. For me, that's a turn-off. Because now I have to call her when she's not with a boyfriend, then she has to lie to the other person. That in itself is a bad thing. Then also the other party, okay, not the other party is not very considered, but mean the other person does not like you, they might now even pursue you. So I'm not saying it can't.
So you're not turned off to the point where you hang your boots.
Yes, I'll be honest.
What Peter is saying, it is unlikely that you are going to find a woman that is completely unattached. That she was just there waiting for you.
I've been a lucky guy.
You think you've been like...
I don't know what else to think when I've been told. I mean, I've been told, and some of my last relationships, these people have actually...
So they were waiting
but
they said
I have to ask you something. There's an interesting distinction that needs to be made here, I think, and that is whether or not a person is interested in a forbidden fruit for purposes of a commitment, like if I want to steal somebody away to make her mine, or am I just looking for a quick fling?
You know.
Okay. Why is it important for us to make this
so that I would be happy for her to go back to whoever she is with later. A lot of people, enjoy the convenience of not having to deal with a woman who is dependent on you. And perhaps that is the allure of, pursuing someone who is already taken.
It's like these young boys who like their
because it's not my responsibility to look after her, buy things for her, provide for her. That's someone else's business.
Yes.
My business is to hook up with her, meet, we do our thing, and we part ways.
You know, on the total contrary,
all cougar hunters in Kampala, ransom. Seeing as you have decided to openly declare war,
don't tell anything of the sort. You know what?
You don't slide and slip and fall in it.
Do you know what happens?
It's too concerning.
The Bible says the guilty man runs when no one is chasing.
But to go back to the point, I think here, for me, on the contrary, on the total contrary,
what do we call him?
FBZ.
Call him James. FBZ.
Is that fine?
Fine.
Okay. On the total contrary, I think, for me, if a woman is married and I want to keep her, that is the one time I'm going to invest time. I don't think I can invest that much time in just.
That's where FBZ comes in.
Yeah, unless they're chasing me or anything, and that doesn't happen very often anyway. But
Winnie, now from a lady's point of view, no man is an island, including woman, because by man here I mean human. We talked about it before we went on. No, you saw it. You tell your friends things. A woman's greatest enemy are her friends. Unfortunately, it's the reality. So should a woman just not tell her friends anything?
Oh, are you saying that when a woman tells her friends, "Oh, my man is so good. He provides for me. He provides for the family. He's great in bed." This is going to make my friend go to my man.
Yes.
My man is going to accept.
Yes.
He might.
Most likely.
And my friends are my enemies.
Are we saying that this is new to you? Like you were hearing it for the first time?
No. What I'm saying is.
So who has the problem?
Because our society is full of these examples.
What I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be your friend. I'm looking at my friends and I'm thinking, my friends are married, and then my friends are married.
Colin said they don't have to be happy.
They say all these good things about their husbands. I've never once had a thought and said, "Oh my God, your man is lovely. I think I'm going to go get your man."
Okay, look at it this way, and I'll give you a scenario. You say that maybe you've not even met the guy. Don't think about it.
Maybe
then
maybe he's not hot.
Yes, you meet the guy, and you are
all your friends
wow.
have
my friends have hot
husbands.
They're very hot.
How did
but you've just never considered.
No.
She knows it's not a secret.
You've seen that.
No, they're walking around,
I've seen that they are hot. It is just that when depends on how close we are. My closest friends, we're very close, and the fact that this is her husband, I think it's a deal breaker. It's just off limits.
But don't you think it happens? Have you not seen it happen in situations? Because I have seen situations where you're like, but this woman, she's really marketing her husband as if the dude is on, and then you see in an unhealthy interest,
I'll give an example.
A woman who is going to gain an unhealthy interest in a man is going to gain that interest whether or not you market him.
Actually not.
It is not because someone comes and says, "Oh, he's so good," and "Oh, he's all these things."
Tell you what,
no.
Like over Valentine's, what happens? A woman would prefer you send her the flowers at the office. Okay? Why? So that she can show off to her workmates, her friends. Say, "Oh, look, if you give her the flowers at home, no."
Because you can't bring them to the office the following day.
Exactly, yeah. People say she
but nowadays they upload it on Facebook.
It's about how women tend to validate themselves. Now, we're different, men and women.
Trick.
No, seriously.
Slippery slope.
No.
That's
seriously.
where you're going.
No. I'm on point here. Women validate themselves by the extent to which they are perceived to be desired by high status men. That is their source of validation, which is why women like the kinds of events that make a big show of how they are wanted and how they are desired and how they are valued. Why do you think when there's a wedding, it's usually the woman who wants it to be big and extravagant and flowery, and because it's her day. It's for her to stand on a pedestal and say, "You see these chairs, you see these tents, you see these gifts, they're for me because I am valuable. May society acknowledge that I'm a woman of value." So, which is why it's important for her for example, during Valentine's Day, to have her husband or boyfriend to, you know, to give her gifts in such an extravagant and highly visible way so that others can acknowledge it, because that's the whole point. In fact, the rap that I did called Be My Valentine, Easy Hit Track, basically covers that. That's
Hit track. Unfortunately, we can't listen to the track, but we're here at the Sheraton Kapala Hotel, and we are talking about forbidden fruit. Don't forget, this is your show. We want to hear from you. Go to our Facebook page. It's NTV Men. Like it. Give us your feedback. You can also follow us on Twitter. It's NTV_men, or send us an SMS on 6565. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back from the break. In case you've just joined us, we're here at the Sheraton Kapala Hotel. And we are talking about forbidden fruits. There are those people who keep prying into others' relationships. Now, before we were talking about Fat Boy and the things he was going to do, back to the issue of forbidden fruit. And I'd wanted to figure, and I want this from Ransom, in terms of respect for relationship. Now, the person, it's very easy to sit and say, oh, you know what, this person is the one who's messing up this relationship, and I'm there, okay. But can you say it is the person in the relationship who is giving those signals and saying, come and get me?
You're just really treading very dangerous ground there. But I don't think that anybody has to necessarily be giving signals for somebody to be attracted to them. Because there are a lot of... Don't tell me you never bounced.
No, but you see, I was seeing something.
You were seeing, so you're blind. You were blind.
You were seeing something.
And then that's why, a lot. Yeah, and then that's why you bounce. You get there and you bounce. Boom.
You hit the tree.
It has refused to say, but that girl, I thought she liked, but she didn't. So you've got to be careful saying those things, because that's where sexual harassment comes in, where somebody says, but I saw the signs, I thought you wanted the... And if you start, you know, so it's not, it's I think the respect and the respect of a relationship is important. I say this, I think, because I'm a married man and I've had people try and make moves with my wife. Now, I don't think necessarily that my wife, like I said, maybe it's just that she's gorgeous. Look and I can look and be happy about it.
I was going to say you should be actually happy about it.
Yeah. But
it's a validation of you as a man.
Yeah, I made the right choice.
Because
but
they must want her also.
No. Okay. They can want her from a distance. Okay. They don't have to come and say it to her and try and
they can
derail.
Want her, whether she says yes to them is something else.
So I think
that's another debate. Yes.
I want to say something. In Uganda, there's an expression that says "omubitabwa muchifulukwa." So you never steal from an empty house. I think that a universal people want. I think that if a man is taken, he becomes more desirable. Then I think that a woman will desire a man who's taken, because she can't want. So the more a man is desirable, the more a woman wants to take him. And I don't know if that works the other way with men, because men are more dominant and more territorial, so they're more likely to, you know.
With men, it's a conquest thing. It's an issue. I think I said it a little bit earlier on, where somebody's like, it's just the act of being that lion that comes and dethrones the guy who's there.
But with the women, you're even more likely to come and say, no, I want to be I'll be your second wife, or I'll be whatever. You know, I'll be your side chick. Because that's fine. Because
there are more and more men who say, it's okay, I'll be your other guy. More and more guys are saying that.
I'll be your painkiller.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
More and more guys are saying, don't worry. I'll be your second guy.
No, you see, no, that's just a comment.
Why are you saying no? When in reality,
he needs to hear my song again.
But think of it. The main species are closest to us in behavior. Chimpanzees. Not just chimpanzees, those bonobo chimps specifically. And they will look and say, okay, how do I better my chances here? Then I can go steal. right? Somebody else is paying for this chick, buying her clothes. Me, I'm just in it to get a little bit of something, and it's not somebody that I have to stress with. They don't have to come to my house or whatever. I'm just the other guy.
You see, in that
what's
case,
happening, I know people who are doing it.
In that case, that man wants that woman sometimes for a fling.
Of course.
You know, a man who wants a woman, it's very difficult to find a man who is comfortable, even if he has 3 women. He wants all the 3 women to himself. And if he hears that one of the 3 women went out with some other guy, oh my God, it's like a disaster. He wants all the 3 women to himself. A man who wants to have random sex, straight sex in a bar, I walk into a bar, he doesn't
with
care.
The 3 women, there's some other guy that's saying, yeah, that guy's got money, he's buying all the stuff, and he's going to go and say, let me be your other guy.
That is the guy in the bar who she meets, who doesn't care, who wants a night of fun, who's going to say, oh, he doesn't even ask, do you have a child?
What about this? But also, I think here it is a disaster first and foremost, like you said. So it is very easy for a man to start on someone's relationship, and they're getting promoted into it with a view to taking over. Whereas when a man is in a relationship and all of a sudden, where he used to make 100% decision, is making 80, then 70, then he hears that the woman even told the other guy that she's single, she's having problems, then right there is a problem. A man can stand being promoted, as in he's moving into someone's relationship, actually destroying it with a view to taking it over. But now when you're the one in that relationship, and all of a sudden you're just being relegated, that's the problem, I think. Just that.
That brings me to another question, and that one I'll start with Fat Boy. Then are those guys, the forbidden fruit chasers, a good thing for a relationship? And I'll tell you where I'm coming from for a relationship, because like Ransom's case, you see, when you know as a guy there's a guy who's hovering around there, you treat your woman well.
You become homicidal also.
To be honest, can I just say something? Can I just say something? It's like I've experienced a certain form of disillusionment over the last several months. From what I've been seeing, I have been observing the extent to which they are out there, like just cheating, the extent to which they are so easy to seduce. It's just frightening. The fact that, one, a lot of women are quite unhappy in marriages, which means that now they seem to be more willing to partake of these kinds of trysts.
You know, Winnie was
so
married.
The pool of available women
Winnie
for men
was
has
married?
expanded.
What?
You were married?
No.
I used to change.
For all purposes, this show and otherwise, no.
my point is that it's shocking how readily available a lot of these women are for entering into these kinds of relationships and flings. So for me, it's like it's like I even have doubts about being in a relationship, because you just don't know. I mean, you disagree with Madame today, you don't know what she's going to do tomorrow behind your back.
To be honest, I'm also a little worried. I'm telling you, with the way things are going. But I think there is also a total lack of relationships. And these days, when someone says I'm married, I'm sorry, I'm generalizing here. When someone says I'm married, it's not a deterrent. They're not saying please go away. They're saying you know what to do.
Do you know what? I said that to somebody once. Who said that's an issue?
Yeah. It's not the sound of it. It should be in the afternoon.
And let's also add an important factor of convenience. You see, the economy is tight. Money is scarce. I couldn't be bothered to wine you, dine you, and to spend all this money on you. I'm quite happy to have someone else do that. So I will come to you if I'm in the mood for it. Or at least this is the thinking of the guy who would do such a thing, which could be anybody.
So the dinner money pays for the hotel instead.
So wait, let me just ask a question here. Just
I'm going to ask you to ask it very quickly so we can go to a break.
Yes. Do I ask slow questions? Okay. if the money that's supposed to wine and dine you is whining, if Fat Boy, for example, were then approaching this Winnie, approaching her and saying, you know, I want some of your business. And so he's thinking that someone is whining and dining, but Winnie, whoever is Winnie's partner, is then whining and dining someone else in another relationship. So really what's happening is that Winnie is just not being wined and dined, because this guy's like, that other guy is taking care of you, and the guy who's supposed to be whining and dining is whining and dining.
No, Winnie will just accept whoever wines and dines her.
We do have to go for a break.
Winnie's right here.
Winnie's right here.
Now we're at the Sheraton Kampala Hotel. We're talking about the forbidden fruit. We do have to go into a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a few seconds. Welcome back from the break. If you have just joined us, we are here at the Sheraton Kampala Hotel, and we are talking about those people who go hunting for forbidden fruits. Don't forget, this is your show. We want to hear from you. Go to our Facebook page, it's NTV Men. Like it, give us your feedback. Or you can follow us on Twitter, it's NTV_men. Tell us what you think, tell us what you want to hear on this show, or rather see, and we will definitely give it to you. Now, Fat Boy, we're stopped right in the middle.
Right. There was a very interesting conversation going on in this corner about whining and dining, and how, well, if everyone is counting on another man to wine and dine the girl, then no one is wining and dining the girl. So how does it work? It almost is a disproof of the theory that once women have the option and have many suitors, that they will seize that opportunity and cheat. Here's the game changer. Women now have money. And that completely changes the game. That means that even if none of them is specifically wining and dining or catering to her material needs, she can do it herself. Women now are rich. They have got money. And it's most especially these professional women who are out there rampant and mostly in unhappy marriages, given the nature of their work that tends to keep them away from their family for long periods of time. So women basically don't need guys for money. Not as much anymore.
Dangerously close to a generalization.
Yeah, it is.
But it's true.
It's a
also,
trend.
Because you get women saying, like, me, I just want your baby. I just want good genes.
That's it.
Yeah?
Your good looks.
Just what you say, but I'm married. See, yeah, but who cares about marriage?
I think the society are so degenerated.
Yeah, we can sign
the society are so degenerated.
Really?
Yeah.
A contract.
Yeah.
Just she wants your baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, you heard about a friend?
Did you tell your wife this?
Yes, of course I did.
What did she say?
But then somehow Winnie's not surprised. I don't know.
None of this is shocking.
It is the truth. This is what is happening today. He was talking about society degenerating. The fact now is that maybe earlier on, our mothers, our great-grandparents did not have the chance. They did not go out to work. They were told what to do. They would sit at home and wait for everything to come and find them at home. Now, women, we are in a position where you can go out there, you make some money, a man makes some money, yes. And so you start to demand things. So you want the man to meet you at a certain level because you feel you are an equal player,
your money is your
which
money.
is not what it was before. So if he's not meeting you at a certain level, and well, you are going to go out there and look for the options. And now about the forbidden fruit of the married men, say a woman like me, okay, no, many women who are working a bit, they've studied a bit, they're working, you would find that it is easier for her. There are lots of men, no disrespect, that are going out. They want to have many different women. He has Winnie, he has Linda, he has all these other girls on the side, and then he's playing them and all this thing. I've found women saying that married men, the forbidden fruit we're talking about, are very respectful of them. She knows that he is married, he has a wife, but he has a wife and he has got her. In comparison to, I'm giving an example, Fat Boy who will have 5 other little girls on the side, and then those little girls, it's an example. It's an example.
Hypothetical.
It's hypothetical.
5
and
little,
5
could also be true, you know?
little girls, and what he's not giving her so much. And then there's this one married guy. He says, oh, I love you so much. I've got my wife, but I am going to have you as well. He will provide for her, and then he will meet her emotional needs as well. She finds it easier to stay with that man than go be with Fat Boy. Until she finds, I think she wants to stay with this guy until she can find a Fat Boy she can settle with.
I think also what has happened in society is, I don't know if it is a problem now, is that what we look for in relationships has never changed from from time immemorial. It has never changed. But now, when the situation changes, globalization, development, and everything, we think what we want from relationships has changed. Okay?
Really?
Bottom line is what we look for in relationships. Likes you, someone who respects you and everything. That has never changed. I don't think so.
That's true.
But now, as time goes by with growth and everything, taller buildings, better cars and everything, we think now that is what we are looking for. Then you get married to some guy who's buying you all those things, and then you realize these are not the things that you were looking for in the first place.
So you go back.
Then you go back, and as human beings, and I always say we are not very bright. Very often we do not learn until we make a mistake, maybe two times, 3 times, and everything. Or some people masquerade as though they are giving that, but they cannot give with you. You know, it is much easier to provide 20% to someone who is getting 80% from their relationship. And then they leave their relationship and they come to you and you cannot even give them 50%.
You're still providing your 20.
You're still providing 20. Also, all those things happen, but we can only learn when we are in those situations.
Me, I've got to ask. No, I've got to ask because you see what Joseph was just saying. Is it just happening in our society? I mean, from what you guys are seeing across the world.
It's happening all over. I mean, go back. Those of you who are a little bit older than Colin, for instance, will remember a song by LL Cool J, which is like from the 80s. It's called "I'm the Type of Guy," where the guy is just talking about, you treat your girl like this. Me, I'm the guy who's sneaking in the back door. You know, you're giving her money.
And not to cut you short, but please, you'll have to put in your parting shot.
Oh my goodness.
Time flies when we've got women like
honestly, this one is very short.
So it's something that has always happened, I think. There's always been guys who are content with being the other guy, who are content and happy with stealing. In fact, and if you think about a lot of the hip-hop tracks and whatnot, they talk about stealing another guy's woman. It's about soldier takeover. It's about coming and taking over, because that makes you the alpha male.
Killing the rat.
Yes.
So
for me, it's about the disrespect of a relationship. Yes, you can feel a bit happy that people are chasing after your significant other or whatever.
You don't want them to get her.
Exactly. Thank you. You don't want them to get her. It's people must just respect each other's relationships. You know, forbidden. It's called forbidden fruit for a reason, I guess.
Colin, your parting shot.
Well, I guess, you know, the more forbidden things are, the more the wild ones take them down.
Well, stolen bread tastes good, but your mouth ends up with gravel. That's what it says in Proverbs.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, you know, I am, unlike Ransom, not a moralist. I'm very highly a pragmatist.
You're an immoralist?
No,
okay.
A pragmatist.
All right.
Which means...
He thinks he's an alpha male. In other words,
I don't
thinks.
No, that's Ransom. Wait, let me say it. I am an alpha male. That's my parting shot. Wait, no. No, my parting shot is this. Okay. I think
you will learn.
You do as you. I think that people should, within the confines of what is comfortable and acceptable, people should live their lives, be happy. Because as I always like to say, you've got to know yourself, know who you are, know what's within your limits. If your sense of validation as a man comes from other guys desiring your wife, by all means. If then that is then validated by, if you think that guys banging your chick and guys saying, dude, your chick is hot, then that will give you more value, then do that. But if it doesn't, then don't. But know yourself. In the end, life's too short, and you've got to be selfish enough. So I think you've got to be selfish enough to know.
Do to others what you want them to do to you.
What you want.
So you're saying do to others what you want them to do to you?
Do to others before they do one unto you.
He's not a moralist.
Okay. Joseph, your parting shots.
Okay. Hitting on my woman does not make me happy at all. It does not give me any pride.
You know, you're Mr. Insecurity.
Please don't make me feel proud by hitting on my woman. It is not one of those things. It's okay. You can call it insecurity or whatever. And good for you who are very secure. Me, please don't give me pride. Don't hit on my woman. At least not when I'm saying. Okay. One. Two, I think the thing of respect for other relationships is way out of hand now. It's because when I was growing up, I mean, I think growing up from that part of from that time in life is what is in my mind now, that when someone is married, it's a no-go area. Yeah, as in when that's a couple, even if I didn't know, once I learned, for me, in my head, it's a turn off. Okay, so I think respect in relationships, I think, is crucial. And also, I keep talking about this, the way we get into relationships and how we end up, because it is a part of the problem that people are ending up in relationships for the wrong reasons, and we are using these wrong reasons and the marriages that in which they subsequently end as barometers. Yet they shouldn't be, because these relationships, very many of them are actually built on sandy foundations. Yeah. So I think the way we get into relationships or marriages, for that matter, these days is very, very shaky.
Winnie, your parting shot before Colin decides to give it on your behalf.
Give it to her.
Winnie.
The parting shot. I think that today,
Inception.
The ladies, especially us, when you say, I got a boyfriend, F busy, let's mean it. Usually when these guys come to us, or like he said, they come to you, initially you're steadfast, I have a boyfriend, and then someone is going to convince you about all these other things they can do for you that the other person cannot do for you, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to find him weak, you're going to go with this other guy. So let's stick to the values. Let's know why we get into relationships. A forbidden fruit is a forbidden fruit. And I think that if you're getting 100% from where you are, there would be no need for you to look for forbidden fruit. So what people need to do is do not go into a relationship expecting that the other person is going to give you their 100%. It's important that you go in there expecting that you'll give 150. So when he gives 70, it will still meet your expectations.
So you find someone to get the 20 from.
Just give their 100% together. It doesn't matter where you come from, but together 100%, whether he gives 30, until he meets you halfway. Because either way, we're always going to go out, look for something better. There is always something better, always. So even if you confine yourself to a relationship and say, oh, my guy is the best, there's no such thing as my man is the best. But if you love him and you are intent on working on your relationship, it's a great thing. Be committed, be in the thing. There's a reason why you chose to be with that person other than the other people outside. So it's important. When you decide to be married, be married. Today people are getting married for all the other reasons, the wrong reasons. If you're not ready for it, don't do it. That's why you're in there looking outside. But when you decide to be married, go in there, be married, and stay married. So you won't be outside looking for the forbidden fruit. There's always more money, more looks, more everything.
Wow, very powerful. Fat boy, your parting shots.
And in closing,
I'd like to say that this forbidden fruit is no longer a forbidden fruit. It's now fair game, and that is thanks.
Drop it like
that is thanks in large part to social economic changes in the last 100 years that have removed the constraints that used to force people to keep the fruit forbidden. These constraints include that were removed include suffrage, women coming out to be able to compete financially with men. A woman can now look after herself, can survive economically. So she does not need a man to look after that. So her incentive to keep the fruit forbidden has been lifted. So it is now fair game. I'm not celebrating this. I'm just saying it is what it is.
So are you saying we should stay?
Every man for the fruit.
Every man for the fruit?
Because if my wife is approached by a guy who's interested in her, you see, 100 years ago she would have thought, if my husband finds out, where will I live? If I get pregnant, they'll kick me out. How will I survive?
The shame of
now
it.
not there. The shame is gone. The economic risks, gone. Risk of pregnancy, gone. So she now has very little that's keeping her from jumping ship into someone else's ship. Do you see? And let me commend those who hold fast to their principles and their beliefs or their culture that requires them to sort of maintain a degree of self-control. But the fact is, the social constraints which used to reinforce that self-control, which used to make it easier for you to impose control on yourself, it's now lifted. Which means we are now being assaulted by all of these offers and opportunities. It is hard to resist. So that's why it's no longer the forbidden fruit.
That's the story of Colin's life.
Peter.
Yes. Guys, we've come to the end of the show. I want to thank you so much for coming, Fat Boy. Also, it's been great having you. You always have a very special way of looking at many things. Forbidden fruit, and we appreciate tonight. We have been talking about forbidden fruits. Sometimes they are also the low-hanging fruits. They're easy to get. But that's for another story. That's another week. Don't forget, this is your show. We are coming to you from the Sheraton Kampala Hotel. We want to hear from you. Go to our Facebook page, like it, give us your comments. Also send us a private mail. That's men@ntvuganda.co.ug, or send us an SMS on 6565. It's been a pleasure having you tonight. Take care of yourselves. Good night.
One more depending on a breath, and we all look away. People pretending everywhere. It's just another day. There's bullets flying through the air, and they still carry on. We watch it happen over there, and then just turn it off. We must stand together. Hand in hand forever. That's when we
NTV, turning on your world.
With a body weight of up to 2 tons, the hippopotamus rivals the white rhinoceros as the second largest living land animal. It averages 3.5 meters long and at the shoulder. Its name means river horse and it's semi-aquatic, inhabiting rivers and lakes in the grassland portions. The hippopotamus is recognizable for its enormous barrel-shaped hairless body, big broad head and stubby legs. Even though a hippo runs almost as fast as a human at 30 miles per hour. It's brownish grey on top with a light pink color underneath. The hippopotamus has its ears, nose and eyes positioned on top of its head so it can remain submerged and still monitor what's going on around it. A hippo spends most of its day lazing in the water with its top exposed and occasionally basking on a sandbar. When it submerges, it closes its nostrils and ears so water won't get in. It emerges every 4 to 6 minutes to breathe. The process of surfacing and breathing is automatic, and even a hippo sleeping underwater will rise and breathe without waking. Hippopotami live in herds with the largest pods of up to 100 animals, with one dominant male presiding over a stretch of the river. The hippopotamus is herbivorous and nocturnal. It comes out of the water at night to graze and can eat up to 68 kilograms of vegetation in one night. Female hippos reach reproductive prime at 5 to 6 years of age, while males at around 7.5 years. Mating takes place in the water, with the female submerged for most of the encounter. Hippos have a gestation period of 8 months. The female hippopotamus will go off by herself to have her calf. She will then stay away from the herd for anywhere from 10 to 44 days. A hippo's lifespan is typically 40 to 50 years.
Turning on your world.
The mountain gorilla is considered only about 720 mountain gorillas left in the world, and these live within 4 national parks split between the Impenetrable Forest National Park, Mahinga Gorilla National Park in Uganda, Volcanoes and Virunga National Park in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The gorilla is the largest of all living primates and has a robust build with long muscular arms, a massive chest, and broad hands and feet. It has longer and darker hair than other species, allowing it to live and travel at high altitudes where temperatures drop to below 0 degrees Celsius. The gorillas can be identified by nose prints unique to each individual. Male mountain gorillas stand up to an average height of 6 feet and weigh from 400 to 500 pounds, that is 227 kilograms, making them the largest of the great apes. Adult males are called silverbacks because they develop a streak of silver hair on their backs with maturity. The silverback is the leader and the ultimate protector of his band. The mountain gorilla is most active between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Most of this time is alternated between foraging, eating, and resting. They are herbivores and consume large amounts of vegetation. Adult males can eat up to 34 kilograms of vegetation a day, such as 18 kilograms. Females reach breeding age at about 10 years old. They typically bear young every 4 to 5 years, giving birth after a gestation period of 8 to 9 months. The mountain gorilla is generally shy but highly social and lives in relatively stable, cohesive groups of up to 35 individuals. These groups are made up of one silverback, 1 or 2 blackbacks, a few mature female juveniles, and infants.
If you are a poor person, please don't waste my time. I've got enough poor people. I don't want additional ones.
Sounding a warning, President Museveni tells investors the government will not tolerate unserious players. Tonight, Lands Minister Ida Nantaba saves the day in another land wrangle in Bwaise. Also coming up, a gruesome murder in Chinawataka as a body of a man is found in a lodge. And also join us on NTV poll. But first, let's take a look at the rest that's coming on tonight's bulletin.
The various pieces of legislation that we have, most of the issues that are being raised in this bill are already catered for.
Poking holes in the draft law, Law Reform Commission officials say the anti-pornography bill is already provided for. Tensions in the two Koreas. G8 ministers condemn North Korea's nuclear program as the US and Seoul brace themselves for missile test. Ready to rumble. Ugandan riders are all set for the national motocross race at Karuga. Hello and thank you for joining us. I am Gabriel Epenu. President Yoweri Museveni has told foreign investors that his government will not tolerate poor investors coming into the country to operate petty businesses. The president made the remarks at an investment forum meeting in Kampala that was attended by over 150 business leaders and investors.
Among these are investors, most of them foreign, here to listen to the story of Uganda, also wooed by the Commonwealth Business Council. Government did its job of pitching what Uganda has to offer to the investors.
Our government strategy is to carry out those investments that the private sector either cannot or would rather not do on its own.
Perhaps the most fundamental point is that Africa's growth story is hardly limited to extractive industries. As many as 200 million Africans will enter the consumer markets by the year 2015.
But it was the time for the investment attraction champion of Uganda to speak. And when he did, there was no blanket invitation. There was no room for fake investors.
In case you are not a poor person, if you are a poor person, please don't waste my time. I've got enough poor people, I don't want additional ones. But in case you have got some money, good money, and you want to make more money, I can confidently tell you that you can make money here when you come here.
Though that was said with a smile, it had a serious history to it.
If the government cannot help us, we are going to help ourselves because we feel we are tired. We have been thrown out of the shops because of the rent. We no longer sell. You find Chinese in Nigina, these sandals. You find them in fake mosquito nets. You find them in fake telephones, in SIM cards, in batteries. What should we as Ugandans really do?
Thus time has allowed wisdom and boundaries even for the investors. As the president wooed investment for such areas like iron ore, some existing investors were expressing readiness already.
If we have got the rights for exploitation of iron ore, then definitely we are ready.
It is actually more apparent that the courting of investors is shifting from generalization to specific people and sectors, underlining lessons learned from years of experience. Samuel Setumba, NTV.
We derived tonight's poll from the issue of investment, and we would like you to comment on the President Museveni's dismissal of investors who supposedly lack financial might to operate in the country. Comment on President Yoweri Museveni's dismissal of investors who supposedly lack financial might. Do this by texting those comments to 8778. Include yes or no, and tell us where you're texting from. We'll be reading some of those during the bulletin and bring you some more before we wind up NTV tonight. The Uganda Law Reform Commission says the Anti-pornography Bill of 2011 is likely to affect the cultural institutions in the country. While critiquing the bill that is currently before the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, the Commission argues that most of the clauses in the bill are already catered for in a number of legislation regulating pornography in the country. The Commission is now recommending to government to instead strengthen some of the current laws, as Maurice Ocho reports.
There has been lots of uproar about the anti-pornography bill ever since it was introduced in Parliament by the Minister of Ethics and Integrity, Father Simon Lokodo. One of the clauses that caught many people's attention is the clause that makes it illegal for women to wear miniskirts. Officials of the Uganda Law Reform Commission today told members of Parliament's Legal Affairs Committee that the introduction of the bill will be duplication of similar laws.
The Penal Code creates offences, and these offences relate to pornography. Section 166 provides for the offences related to pornography. We have also talked about the Computer Misuse Act, which deals with child pornography.
The Commission further noted that the bill has also been catered for in the Uganda Communications Commission Act, and its passing would affect the cultural dressing of some ethnic groups.
How would it apply in some parts of the country, specifically Karamoja? Karamoja, it will not apply. What about the dances that we have that look to be erotic, like the Kadodi dance in Bugisru, even the Uganda dance of wiggling around the waist? Most of the cultural dances in Uganda, if you go by the definition in this bill.
As for the lawmakers, the timing of the anti-pornography bill is not right for the country.
Government is failing to pay teachers, is failing to pay doctors, and you are trying to put up a committee to pay it to do what actually the police is already doing.
We don't need another law to do that. We have only failed to implement the existing laws. But if there was a good mechanism to implement the existing laws, we wouldn't see young ladies selling themselves on the street.
Some of the legislators believe the bill's overall goal of promoting good morals falls within purview of religious and cultural leaders.
How many churches have we got? What do people go to do there? So for me, I think really let us really distribute our efforts and energy constructively.
The bill seeks to repeal and replace Section 166 of the Penal Code Act 120 and prohibits pornography in any form. The bill defines pornography as any cultural practice, behavior or communication that depicts the sexual parts of a person, such as breasts, thighs or private parts. The bill also outlaws the publication of such material either through audio or visual recording. Maurice Achol, NTV.
Will it share the same fate as the marriage and divorce bill? We only wait to see. Well, the State Minister for Lands, Idi Amin, has ordered the arrest of a man alleged to have sold a piece of land belonging to a 60-year-old woman living in Kampala. The man reportedly sold the land while working as an estate manager of the house situated in Kubiri on the outskirts of Kampala.
60-year-old Madina Nakabuye has for the last 7 years had quarrels with her cousin Sulaiman Kavuma over her late mother's plot of land situated at Kubiri along Waise Road. Madina acknowledged that Kavuma was given powers of administration by her late mother Sauda Namwanje. But she says she never received any money from Kavuma as part of the rent collected from the disputed property.
He has been collecting rent worth 6 million every month, but he has not shared the same with the beneficiaries, so he should construct their house.
The wrangle this morning prompted the State Minister for Lands, Idi Amin, to intervene by ordering the arrest of Kavuma, whom she accused of acting against the law. The minister says she has for the last 3 months asked Kavuma to submit a will, which gives him the power of administration to no avail.
I've asked for the will 3 times and he has not brought it. So he has no ground or basis of claiming for ownership.
Kavuma is also accused of selling off this plot of land said to belong to Nakabuye without consulting her.
He has to be arrested and he's arrested today until he constructs Muzei's house, refunds the money for the orphans and takes charge of the illegal land eviction that he carried on. He should be charged for that.
Nantaba's verdict brought a ray of hope in the life of 60-year-old Madina, who was previously helpless during the 3-hour meeting at the site. Meanwhile, authorities in Kasese have arrested a UPDF officer for reportedly fueling land conflicts in the district. Lieutenant David Mohasa, attached to the Renzururu Kingdom, is accused of mobilizing about 50 residents to start cultivating on the disputed piece of land.
They have been mobilizing attacks against us and our neighbors in this area now for almost 1.5 years.
However, Mohasa says he's the rightful owner of the land, which was given to him by his father.
I have a document that shows I am the owner of this land. I was given as a family member, customarily in our traditional cultures, Bakonzo. When a child grows up, the father or grandfather normally cuts a piece of land, a portion, and then assigns it to the grandson or the son. That's how I managed to acquire.
Cases of eviction of poor peasants are rampant across the country, something that prompted President Yoweri Museveni to issue a stern warning against the act earlier this year.
A man identified as Sam Tumusime was this morning found dead in a room at Friends Inn, a lodge in Kago Zone in Chinawataka, a Kampala suburb. The deceased is reported to have entered with a male colleague at around 2 a.m. in the morning, but his colleague left at dawn. The police say the late Tumusime was strangled. The body was taken to Mulago Hospital mortuary for post-mortem.
We found a victim by name of Tumusime Sam, who is in his 30s, late 30s, and we have found that he was strangled and one of the suspects has escaped. We are still hunting for him.
You're watching NTV Tonight. We take a short break at this point, but there is so much more still ahead on the program. Gruesome murder. The police recover a man's body in a Kampala lodge. And it's 34 years today since former President Idi Amin was ousted. But what good was there to him? This is NTV Tonight. We return shortly.
You have spirit of great African warrior. I will teach you the Watusawara style Kung Fu.
What an offer.
Now, show me what I teach you. That was a flying donkey Murago hospital kick. I die now.
Master!
But before I die, I offer you my belongings.
An extra offer?
Get an offer that comes with an extra offer. With Wali, the double the fun extra. Get up to 100% bonus airtime. When you roll the airtime. And also win 650 million shillings worth of a bonus airtime.
Hey! Worried. Make it happen.
No Kung Fu master was hurt in the making of this film.
At One Song, we believe good aluminium frame should be light and strong, shiny and beautiful, durable and corrosion resistant, and manufactured with the highest level of precision and engineering. For quality aluminium windows, doors, and office partitions, visit our showroom. One Song makes a difference.
National Social Security Fund.
So every time you see the NSSF sign, think of it as a renewed promise.
A promise that reaffirms our commitment to providing you with great customer service.
To provide you with the latest and innovative products.
To be a socially responsible organization.
To give you a competitive return on your savings. Process your claims in a fast and efficient manner.
So, think of it as a promise to remain true to you, to be professional and friendly. Because at NSSF, we are proud of what we do and who we do it for. We secure your future.
And that's our promise.
NSSF, a better future.
Welcome back. You're watching NTV Tonight. We start with a reminder of our NTV poll question and some of your responses. We asked for your comments on President Museveni's dismissal of investors who supposedly lack financial might. Comment on President Museveni's dismissal of investors who do not have the financial might to operate in Uganda. You send those to 8778. Include your name and where you're participating from. Let's now have some from Twitter, and then we'll later on, before we wind up the bulletin, have others from Facebook. Rachel Mbabazi, you say, why it took him so long to realize we don't know. But it's good to know that his eyes are open now, hoping it is truthful this time. And Deuslav, you say whether investors have money or not, it doesn't matter because they're all just a bunch of exploiters. Isaac Bala Muhumuza, you say, why didn't he stipulate it earlier when we started investment crusades? Luwum Street is awash with Chinese dealing in foreign petty stuff. Finally, for now, Equals Junior, Peter, you say it's wrong for a foreigner to come to Uganda feigning as an investor, only to start minor shops, bars, like you mentioned one there, which still discriminate. Well, that is your opinion. But thank you so much for all of your responses so far. Please do keep them coming. I'll be reading some more before we wind up this bulletin. And remember, you can catch us live on www.ntvuganda.com/live stream. Moving on, we now bring you a summary of some of the court stories from around Kampala.
The court-martial in Makinye today began hearing the case of 2 UPDF soldiers and a private security guard who allegedly attempted to attack Mbuya military barracks. Lieutenant Augustine Moro, Private Kenneth Kalokwera, and Ivan Ebong, a security guard, are charged with offences relating to security and treachery. The 2 UPDF soldiers denied all charges, while the security guard pleaded guilty to the charges. The suspects are on remand at Makinye Military Police Barracks and Chigo Government Prison respectively. They will return to court on the 17th of this month because the prosecution needs more time to carry out further investigations. Still in court, 3 suspects in the financial scandal at the office of the Prime Minister have today appeared before the Anti-Corruption Court. The suspects working at the Ministry of Finance are David Mugisha, a senior economist, Bright Atwine, a senior accountant, and information analyst Wilbert Okello. They have been charged with 3 counts of fraud ranging from abuse of office, conspiracy to defraud, and diversion of public funds. They were arrested at the height of the OPM scandal late last year, but released on police bond as investigations into the case continued. Their co-accused Amon Tagwenda passed on early this year, while Godfrey Kazinda battled several charges in the same court. They have all denied the charges before Chief Magistrate Irene Akankwasa, who sent them to Luzira prison on remand until the 29th of April, when they will return to court for the mention of their cases.
Well, foreign ministers from the G8 group of nations have condemned in the strongest possible terms North Korea's weapons and ballistic missile program. Now, tensions have risen on the Korean peninsula in recent weeks, with North Korea making bellicose threats against the South, Japan, and United States bases in the region. The group of 8 nations comprise the United States, Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Canada, and Russia. The US said it was ready to defend itself against anything North Korea might launch, as its ally South Korea confirmed that its ability to intercept the Northeast missiles is right. Well, moving on, it's 34 years today since former President Idi Amin Dada fled the country as Tanzanian troops and the Uganda National Liberation Front forces closed in on the capital. 2 days later, Kampala fell and a coalition government of former exiles took power. His regime has been etched in history as one of the bloodiest in the world, with him being referred to as a butcher, tyrant, madman. The list goes on. But even the wickedest of men have their soft spots, and Amin was no exception. Here is why I think the Kakwa giant was, well, human after all.
For God and my country.
In 1965, Milton Obote, then Prime Minister of Uganda, promoted Amin to the rank of Commander of the Armed Forces. Amin led a military coup and seized power on the 25th of January 1971 while Obote was in Singapore. On the 2nd of February 1971, Amin declared himself President of Uganda. His rule was initially welcomed, but the brutality and corruption that he engaged in and the ruthless elimination of anybody who opposed him eventually turned the Ugandan population against him. The final straw that led to his ouster came in the late 70s after he ordered the Ugandan army to invade Tanzania. Despite being supported by Libyan troops, Amin was defeated, escaping to Libya and eventually settling in Saudi Arabia, where he died in August of 2003. Memories of him are mostly dark ones, and yet the one-time heavyweight boxer and ardent sportsman was not only about blood and death. Amin is known to have loved sports so much, he not only participated in several disciplines, but also ensured that funding for the sector was guaranteed. Here, he is seen at a send-off ceremony for Ugandan boxers to a major foreign competition.
must do everything possible to win by knockout. You must knock anybody who is sparring with you in the boxing ring. This is my last. Thank you very much.
In this piece, you will not miss Amin's humor. Several jokes have been laced around his grammar, but the man could actually tell a good joke.
Telegram sent to Julius Nyerere, President of Tanzania. I want to assure you that I love you very much, and if you had been a woman, I would have considered marrying you, although your head is full of gray hairs. But as you are a man, that possibility does not arise.
It was then that you sent this telegram to Nyerere. What was this?
Journalist, I think you read my telegram.
Yes, what was it? Was it to make fun of him or?
Because I love him very much.
Then there was Amin, the lover of nature.
I like very much elephants because it is a sign of liberty, freedom, and it moves freely. It wants a big space. This is the elephant.
Like the harp was to King David, the dictator reveled in an instrument that seemed to soothe him, his beloved accordion. Yes, music, not just terror, ran through his veins. The Big Daddy, as he was known, was said to have an appetite for many things. One of them was a penchant for children. He devoted time and doted on them. The affection was not lost.
It's difficult to educate 18 children.
He may be mentioned in the same breath as other bedeviled leaders like Emperor Bokassa or Adolf Hitler, but it goes without saying that Idi Amin Dada, a man who rose from a humble upbringing to rule Uganda, albeit with an iron fist, still has an amiable side to boast of among a host of shortcomings. The other side of Idi Amin Dada, 34 years after he was ousted from power. Up next is Malcolm Musime with NTV Business. Malcolm, a new law seeking to have harder punitive punishments for substandard goods in the countries in the offing.
Anyone distributing, manufacturing, or even supplying. But yes, there's concern that the law is a little bit softer. So the Uganda National Bureau of Standards calling for, more punitive measures, like you said.
Take it away, Malcolm.
Good. Coming up, that and more in NTV Business with me, Malcolm Musime. Join us immediately after this break.
And cry, and he said, "My darling Happy, I am your daddy." Your daddy? He was not dead. He was not dead. Good story. My daddy returned.
With over 100 great TV channels on DSTV, everything else can wait.
Uganda Communications Commission invites entries for the 3rd ASIA Awards, scheduled for June the 7th, 2013. Visit www.ucc.co.ug/awards for information on the categories and criteria. Deadline for entries is April the 30th, 2013. ASIA, ICT Innovation for National Development.
NTV Business
is brought to you by
Uganda Telecom. It's all about you.
Hello there and good evening. My name is Malcolm Simi, and tonight on NTV Business, government of Uganda has now received $150 million, approximately 300 billion shillings from the World Bank towards a project aimed at developing 14 municipalities in the country. With rural-urban migration growing by the day, this project to be executed through the Ministry of Urban Development is aimed at bringing about more organization and better infrastructure to urban areas. Now, according to Rosemel Najemba, the line minister, we have this report.
At least 14 municipalities across the country earmarked to benefit from the $150 million World Bank Urban Infrastructure Development Drive may receive the grants before end of this financial year.
It is big, it's $150 million, and it is from the World Bank. Government is supposed to pay. The project will take 5 years. Government will pay, but the municipalities are not supposed to pay. For them, it's a grant, but to government, it's a loan.
Rosemary Najemba, the State Minister in charge of urban development, says that besides outright road construction works, each of the municipalities have been allowed to identify projects of additional areas of economic relevance to their own communities.
Other municipalities have chosen bus terminals. Others have chosen Olida, for example, wanted to beautify the city to make it beautiful. Arua wants a modern abattoir, and this one is going to be to help us in that.
Even then, absence of a national urban policy is seen as a critical challenge that the government may have to consider putting in place if the municipalities may attain relevant recognition in the future.
Just 2010, government enacted the Fiscal Planning Act that will guide the planning, the urban planning, fiscal planning of this country. And this Fiscal Planning Act declared the entire country a planning area.
Out of the traditional 22 municipalities of Uganda, only 2 have been considered under this 300 billion shilling grant, with Ntungaman-Hoima being the newest on board. Reina Ojan, NTV Business.
Thank you, Reina. Now remains to be seen whether that money will be put to use, $150 million. Up next, details from today's trading in the money and shares market in the financial report. Now, with arrests related to substandard goods, dangerous to life, attracting penalties as low as 10,000 Ugandan shillings due to the existing law, the new Uganda National Bureau of Standards law, now before Parliament, is a welcome move. The Uganda National Bureau of Standards now says that Parliament must be able to cause much more punitive amendments on the Act under review in the House.
The tabling of the amendments of the Standards Act presented in Parliament has raised great expectations from the technical agency, which says the existing laws were barely punitive enough to block counterfeits in the market.
And if somebody is caught with the products that don't conform to standards, you are taken to court, the maximum fine has not got to be over 10,000 shillings. That has been really hurting us and also hurting the consumer.
Speaking on the sidelines of a meeting with different private sector players here in Kampala, Manyindo added that other proposed amendments on the law
would also allow enterprises to compete freely.
500 currency points, and one currency point is 20,000 shillings. And also an imprisonment of 2 years.
The Uganda National Bureau of Standards is, however, still anxious that additional financing for the institution is long overdue, a factor that has in a way contributed to the entry of counterfeits through the numerous borders undetected. Ingrid Nantege, NTV Business.
Thank you, Ingrid, with that Uganda National Bureau of Standards move. And that winds up NTV Business for tonight, Malcolm. But do stay with us. Joel Kamadi is standing by to bring us the very latest in sports. So don't go away.
Hello? Okay, but no, fine. Okay, bye-bye.
Don't break the conversation. Switch to Switch from Uganda Telecom. Dial *165# to activate. Uganda Telecom. It's all about you.
Sebo banyabo. Wawulidde kazanyo ka Powerball. Leka nawe bera mu kirasi. Kano kazanyo kagesa mikisa jo. Era osobola okuwangula obukadde 2 bweddu. Londa enamba zo 3 okuva ku 1 ku 9 era otekemu omusimu gw'ensimbi gw'oyagadde. Osobola okuzanya kazanyo kano ka Powerball ku buli ttabi lya Sports Betting Africa oba ng'okosa SMS. Funa endagiriro y'okuzanya kazanyo kano ku SMS ng'oweza ekigambo how mu luzungu ku 7733. Ku Luganda owereze yiga ku namba y'emu 7733. Buli baraza n'olwokutaano ennamba za Powerball zijja kuzanyibwa ku lutimbe lwa NTV ku ssaawa 12:55. Era ennamba yo bw'enaabanga erabise ojja kuba buwanguzi wa nsusso.
Kawungeezi, more Lugambo, more Lwali. For more in your life, get 25% bonus instant free airtime when you top up with Airtel Money. Dial *100#, select Airtel Money, buy airtime, and follow the prompts. Simple, secure, instant. Let the conversation go on and on. Airtel Money helps your money do more.
NTV Sport is brought to you by.
Here we go. Now is what happens in the next 90 minutes. This one promises to be a classic.
Good evening and welcome to NTV Sport. I am Joel Kamadi. Norman Blake has returned to Power Basketball Club after a season and winning a championship with Warriors. Blake, who was instrumental in Warriors last season, has signed a 2-year contract ahead of the National Basketball League scheduled to start next Friday.
In a bid to reclaim the National League title, Power Basketball Club has signed shooting guard Norman Blake ahead of the season that is scheduled to start in 8 days' time. Blake, who inspired the Chambogo Warriors last season to their second league title, has rejoined his former side Power on a 2-year contract.
Well, I'm back home. That is all. I'm back home. I'm glad to be back home.
Blake has 3 titles as most valuable player and has played in 3 different clubs in the past 3 years, including Power in 2010, Miracle Eagles in 2011 and Warriors in 2012.
He's more like a prodigal son coming back home. So he'll fit into the team with his. So I believe we're going to have a very good season since he's a team player and he has a lot to offer.
Power has also signed the 2011 Division 2 and 2013 Friday Night Lights MVP Paul Odong from Bushcourt, Derek Mbusi from Hitters and Daniel Owiti from St. Michael.
Yeah, it really means a lot for me to join DMAC Power because it's a team that I've always wanted to join. And I've always admired to play at the competitive level of basketball with some of the toppest players. So what I expect from Power is to learn a lot from them, play time, and then move on with my career in life.
Asha Komgisha, NTV Sport.
Now, Uganda's lead rider Josh Hamilton will feature in Uganda's second round of the national motocross race at Karuga this weekend to set the pace as elite competitors get set for the East Africa Championship to be held in Nairobi, Kenya. The one-day competition will have all the title challengers in different categories taking part, as Alfred Odom reports.
The second round of the National Motocross Championship resumes this Sunday at Garuga, with the lead drivers looking to collecting maximum points and assessing their abilities ahead of regional competitions. Officials have invited Tanzania's Joshua Hamilton as a guest participant to provide a challenge to potential entrants for the East African event next month in Nairobi.
This second round of the National Motocross Championship will also act as a practice run for us as we prepare for the first round of the East African Championship, which will take place in Nairobi, end of May, early June.
Yannick Dyke and Yunus Bakunda will hope to retain their top spots in the MX1 class, as Tala Chigundu aims at stretching his lead in the MX2 category. Kenya will host 2 of the 3 rounds of the East African Motocross Championship, while Uganda will stage the other later in August before setting sight on the continental races. Alfred Odong, NTV Sport.
Now, the FIFA Super League football action is set to resume tomorrow across the country. Reigning champions Express, former winners Villa, and Police will tussle it out, hoping to better their chances of clinching the title. Police will fight to avoid being relegated to a lower division next season. Victors will take on Sports Club Villa at Kakindu Ground in Jinja. The Villa side is looking for a win to reduce the Kampala Capital City Authority's lead to 7, and a victory for them will see them off the relegation zone. Kira Young host Masaka Local Council, and a win for Kira will improve their standing from 8th to 5th position, while Masaka will play to avoid relegation. Police are scheduled to play defending champions Express, while Vipers play at home in Buikwe against Proline Football Club. Now, in international sport, Lewis Hamilton was today ordered to return to his hotel in Shanghai after complaining of feeling unwell. And on the football scene, the Premier League has voted to introduce goal line technology from the 2013-2014 season. Hamilton was today ordered to return to his hotel in Shanghai after complaining of feeling unwell. Although Hamilton made a number of commercial appearances yesterday for Mercedes, the 27-year-old is believed to have fallen ill overnight. Hamilton is suffering what Mercedes suspect is an adverse allergic reaction, which left him with an inflamed and weeping eye. He did show up today at the Shanghai International Circuit to carry out his media commitments ahead of Sunday's Chinese Grand Prix. However, they were soon cancelled given his condition, and he was quickly told to head back to bed and recuperate ahead of tomorrow's first practice. Elsewhere, British-based Hawkeye has been awarded the contract to provide the goal line technology system. Hawkeye uses 7 cameras per goal to detect the ball and claims its system is millimeter accurate, ensuring no broadcast replays could disprove the decision. The Football Association will install a system at Wembley Stadium in time for August's Community Shield. Top-flight clubs voted to adopt the system during a meeting of the 20 Premier League chairmen today. Hawkeye is known for providing tennis and cricket with ball tracking technology. Its football system notifies the referee if the ball has crossed the line via a vibration and optical signal sent to the officials' watches within 1 second. And that winds up NTV Sport for tonight. Thanks for watching.
Very good build-up. He's right in the thick of it now. He picks the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity. Unbelievable. He can't believe it either. If you're watching this at home, that's how it's done.
Thank you, Joe Kamadi. Let's now take a look at Friday's weather forecast. As we wind up NTV tonight, let's remind ourselves of our poll. We asked for your comments on President Museveni's dismissal of investors who supposedly lack financial might. Thank you so much for all of those, and we'll start with those from Facebook as promised. earlier. And Opio Julius Achetun, you say, Ugandans are investors themselves, so you must prove to improve over 1,000 Ugandan lives to claim to be an investor from abroad. Otherwise, I do not support these so-called investors who pay Ugandan employees less, yet they are favored via taxation. And Justin Hayen, you say, we do not need chapati investors, simply that. Nawami Sarah, you say, action is needed in Uganda on the investors just as it is on fellow Ugandans. Let him drop the microphone. And Joseph Luchamuzi, you say, unfortunately, it died with the speech. It won't be done. Some pessimism there. Mugabe Fred Mojan, you say, actions should talk louder than words. Let's go back up a little bit. Yes, actions should talk louder than words. We wish it happened before. They are milking an unfed cow. And two from Twitter, Ruhundwa Conrad, you say, I think that is the right thing to do just to avoid problems. And finally, I strongly support the president on this one because such investors act like parasites. They want to gain without pain. That's according to Balas 1. Thank you so much for all of those contributions. The conversation, the discussion continues. Our handle is at NTV Uganda. And don't forget, you can catch us live. The address is www.ntvuganda.co.ug/live. Now, tonight on the spot with Patrick Kamara is Reverend Father Simon Lokodo. The mini-skirt debate continues on that forum. Do not forget to catch them. I'm Gabriel Epenu. Have a very good night.
NTV, turning on your world.
Even as a boy, I had a strong desire to be a world champion, but it will take much more than just desire to get there. I kept going, year in and year out, even when it would simply be easier to stop.
Such encouragement for every single event, both in the Olympic Stadium and on...
I would keep going for my wife and children.
He's got a smile on his face.
I would keep going for my country.
And he's got the flag, and he can't believe it.
And at the end of the day, after all those years of discipline and hard work, the reward makes it worthwhile.
A wonderful moment for him. This is the Olympic champion, Stephen Kiprotich of Uganda.
Akpa sipping, keep sipping.
Introducing the all-new powerful pay bill feature on Worried Pesa. Do more and win more. Use Worried Pesa to pay for DSTV or GoTV subscription, StarTimes subscription, electricity bill, water bill, taxes, school fees, and many others. And you'll enter a draw to win free electricity for a year, free water for a year, DSTV or GoTV decoders, StarTimes decoders, and many surprise gifts. Now, with Worried Pesa's pay bill feature, you do more and win a lot more. Dial *144# and select pay bill. Limited period offer. Terms and conditions apply.
Worried. Make it happen.
Health in Wellness
is brought to you by
New Panadol Advanced with Optizorb, a smart choice. Why should a pain reliever sit in your stomach when it can stand up to your headache? New Panadol Advanced with Optizorb, a smart choice.
Tomorrow night.
You look really terrible, darling. And for someone like you,
That's not easy to do. You can count on me for whatever you may need, Cristobal.
That's what matters in life.
Clothesline mascara, second clothesline, and this time Arana takes down Terrible. Here comes mascara, through the ropes, a torpedo-like dive between the top and middle rope sends Terrible into the second row of the crowd.
Tomorrow night.
This is NTV.
In Uganda alone, the number of students who finish P7 is very big as compared to the number of schools which can absorb them.
In the recent past, the service of education was rarely looked at as a lucrative business for most entrepreneurs. This was because the institution largely had government as the ultimate participant. Nevertheless, today, education is as much minting money for the innovative ones. Chibuka Mohammed, a PhD holder in his 30s, turned away bigger job offers with hefty paychecks to venture into the education business, not only because of making money, but because of great passion built over time in his academic career.
I graduated as a teacher of economics and Islamic studies from Makerere. When I finished, I went for masters. I got a scholarship to go for Masters of Arts and Economics, which I finished, and I started even teaching at the university. After that, I got an offer of a PhD. I started a PhD journey. 1 year in the PhD journey, we were requested to write proposals, business proposals. I wrote a proposal. The proposal I wrote was of a secondary school, starting a secondary school. So after being marked and it got some good marks, I decided to take it ahead.
Indeed, looking at Dr. Chibuka's academic credentials, one would think that it was well-fitting for him to get a lecturing job in big institutions rather go into self-employment. But he thought and still thinks otherwise.
Now, I've studied many books of people who have started ventures, and I've really found out that people who have made big companies are not those who have got good jobs, maybe in government or in good companies. But there are people who have started their own. They start small and they grow big. So if somebody is to think of being big, like being a big employer, I don't think you would think so much in being employed. Well, being employed can be a good startup, because it has given me a good startup, but also